All
right. We're live. Are we actually live? Or Sinan's audio still not coming through?
Come on, yeah.
Okay.
We're live in a manner of speaking.
We're live, and just so everyone knows, we're a bad mouth and Michael
Yeah,
Walker.
that's entirely correct. We were doing that. We were very much doing that. Right.
Yep.
Welcome back to D&D.
But legally, you can't prove it.
Yeah. Although we will just repeat everything if people wanted us to repeat it. So we would absolutely just say it again. That's like it's never going to be a problem. It's always morally correct to make fun of Michael Walker for sitting on that cuck chair on GB News.
Yeah.
It is always morally correct. But I'm still not over that picture being real. Can you tell?
Yeah.
But all right. So
now is the time of monsters.
That's true. Yeah. So play.
Now is the time of cucks.
Yeah. I mean, it could happen. It could happen. It's a game being run by me. Anything could happen. But speaking
my
of
old relationship is dead. My new one is struggling to be born. Now is the time for cucks. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna ask the players to introduce themselves and try and remember what their character's story is so far and how badly they fucked it. So who should we start? I guess we'll start with Barb. Barb, what have you done? Who is Barb and what has she been doing?
Barb is an automaton from the Nihai Empire, which is a fantasy version of the Ottomans, which made in which Fail Sun Sultan, vaguely based on Elon Musk, and also a bunch of Ottomans.
Yeah, you don't need to make a modern analogy for Fail Suns. It's
yeah, and bankrupted the empire overnight. I think they've slightly recovered now, but not enough.
Yeah. And what's Barb been up to?
Barb was an entertainment droid. She turned up in this other place, which is like Britain, but different. And she made a lovely friend called Art Junk, who is her best friend, and is completely normal, and she doesn't realize that he's dirty or homeless at all. It's all good. But the thing is that she never got permission to leave the service of the Empire, and she has accidentally told a bunch of people that she has left without permission. So we may or may not be in trouble for revealing that.
Oops.
I think that's all I fucked up on.
Yeah.
Oh, also, like I did make it very obvious that we killed the Kiyostama by leaving a very obvious trail.
Yeah, you were the one who made it obvious that we killed You killed. I had nothing to do with it. If anyone is watching this from the Kiyostama team, they killed Kiyostama. I am just the world that allowed them to kill him. That's just,
Listen, if Kiyostama can work out how to sue me in Serbo-Croatian, I might as well go to prison. Like, he could do that.
You were just the previous and the next Kiyostama.
Yeah. That's
exactly.
That's how Kiyostama works. You kill him and then you become him. That's how it should.
And I am a bard.
That's the worst punishment.
I'm a trans feminine bard robot.
All winning.
And a Muslim.
Well, there isn't Islam in the game, but okay, sure.
Tell that to my sword, sinner.
The sword that keeps saying this bizarre phrase that means nothing in the world. But the sword that keeps converting people to a religion that does not exist in the world, weirdly. Alright, let's do Elfin. I'm going by the order on my screen. So Elfin. What's Elfin been up? Who is Elfin and what's she been up to?
She's a half-elf, like, druid / warlock, and she's been very normal.
Yeah.
And she got a familiar of a tiny white cat.
Yeah. Just quietly watching the chaos unfold, I think, mostly. Just awkwardly tagging along and wondering why this is happening.
Refusing to tell us who she is or why she's here.
Or who she was in love with that one time. The drinking game that almost caused a riot. That like one of the characters lost their shit over a drinking game. Which I wonder who that was. Right. Art played by John Duncan. Who is Art and what has he been up to? And does he have anything that's gonna cause problems on purpose later? Does he have two things maybe that will do that?
Well, Art is a nasty, dirty, filthy, homeless thief who was previously conscripted into the sort of military of this like country, and deserted after all of his friends died in the mud, and he ran away. Only now only friends with Barb, so is immensely protective of Barb. But also, will take advantage of how much she believes that he's normal. Has Art fuck? I mean, I guess in the first instance, it's more Art's fuck up than Barb's that made everyone be able to track down who killed the Keir Starmer. Because he was mad that the Keir Starmer didn't like Barb's music, so made that clear.
Very clear, actually, by whispering to him as
yeah.
Yep.
Which, to be fair, does throw it off the scent of it being the guild that we were hired to kill him. So maybe it was a good decision after all. Who can say?
Maybe it was fine. Maybe you'll never.
Maybe it was fine.
Yeah.
It was a good decision in the end. All rash decisions are good decisions. Which included not bothering checking out the guy who was escorting them out of the city, who was obviously trying to kill them, but Art thought was hot, so it was just trying to flirt.
Yeah.
And that went fine as well. So I don't know what the problem was. I guess the final mistake is picking up this crown, which is definitely not the One Ring. And so far, I think things seem okay though.
And also, you
Art.
have the mushroom. You have the Danny
Oh,
DeVito mushroom. Yeah.
and Danny DeVito mushroom, who's absolutely great. Yeah. If anything, more things will go wrong with Danny DeVito than the One Ring. Art will just keep the ring and put it in his junk shop.
The mushroom keeps the ring. What then? No, I have no idea.
It's like a Tom Bombadil character. The mushroom the ring has no effect on the mushroom.
That is essentially going to be true anyway. Just because I don't want to think about how that's going to play out.
Tom Bombadil, if he was Danny
He's the
DeVito.
final boss by accident.
Tom Bombadil played by Danny DeVito. I need this.
That would go so hard.
I know, I need it so bad. Alright. And finally we have Angrith, Resident Paladin, played by Alasdair.
Resident Paladin, the last adherent of an order of paladins of Tempest, who were wiped out by the big bad empire.
One of the big bad empires.
One of big bad empires. Because they did too much stuff that was like helping poor people and being like, maybe people shouldn't be starving to death because of grain prices and things like that.
But the fiscal rules. I was told.
Yeah, I know.
People can't afford that. There's no magic money tree.
Yeah.
Like
there's no magic money tree in this world where you could probably make a magic money tree. This is like the ultimate Starmerism there.
And has subsequently taken up adventuring basically to make a living, and as a result has been like forcibly wrangled into herding these idiots around while screaming, "What are you doing?" the entire time. And that's kind of it. That's about the size of it. Because I haven't got my notes. There's also a horse whose name I've forgotten because it's been so long. Again, I've lost my notebook.
I will just call the horse Red Hair, and then that's fine. All right, so that's your characters.
The voice of reason that falls on deaf ears.
Yeah. And who also almost
also
destroyed
there's
that one time.
the Adventurers Guild thought we were dead. I don't know if they still think we're dead.
That's the problem for you to figure out now that we begin again.
Did I turn a guy into a pillar of salt that time? That was fun.
You did turn a guy into a pillar of salt. That did happen, yeah. Really biblical, actually. Kind of good that you did it and not anyone else.
It'd be somewhat concerning if someone else did it.
Yeah.
It'd raise a lot of questions.
Raising a lot of questions already answered by my shirt.
Raising a lot of questions already answered by my pillar of salt.
Yeah, like, well, it already happened. What do you want? I clearly did this. Right. So last time you were all making your way away from the city where you murdered the Kirstama. As you'll recall, you were trying to make your way away, and you encountered various types of weird fucks. That's just the truth of who they were. I think someone tried to mug you. A group of really incompetent teenage half orcs tried to mug you until their dad intervened, and then had to. Yeah, that did happen. Yeah. You encountered this house, this welcoming little roadside house that had two elderly people in it, and you immediately thought that they were a witch of some sort, or Baba Yaga or something like that, and so you immediately ran away.
Baba Yaga.
Yeah, without availing yourself of their hospitality. You walked through the night till you got to a caravanserai where Barb converted two people to Islam, if you'll recall. Well, actually, they were going to arrest her and throw her in jail for saying she was English and for stealing the sword. But they decided not to do that for some reasons that will be lost to time. And so I think you decided to carry on walking through the night from the caravanserai, which means it'll be just about dawn, just about daybreak when you arrive at this hill, this crest of this hill, and you see this. The weather suddenly lifts. There's a lot less humidity. There's a lot less overbearing heat. And it's much more temperate, much more moderate. And you see this almost like idyllic green fields and farms and this walled city that looks actually like a city. It doesn't look like there's a massive queue of people at the gates because of some obscene draconian border policy. It's nice. It's pleasant. It's the sun is beaming, and not in an overbearing way that you're used to here. It's very nice. It's a very.
This is why we shouldn't
scene.
have left the Europa Union.
Yeah, you shouldn't have left the sovereignty in this. You see.
Yeah.
We've arrived in the sunlit uplands.
Yeah, you have literally arrived in the sunlit uplands.
Oh my god, get a load of those bananas!
Also known as Horrocks Land. The region is generally known as Horrocks Land, which is just generally regarded as this very pleasant region of the world that you've escaped to. And so you see the city.
I know this might sound pessimistic, but is it a bit suspicious that there isn't a big crowd of people waiting outside the gate?
I think we need to manage expectations a little bit.
It's probably fine.
Should one of us knock?
Well, you're not at
Well,
the gate yet. You're still like on the hill quite a ways
Yeah,
away.
Can we see the gate?
Oh,
There
yeah,
could be
you
a
can see
see
the
the
gate.
tiny
gatehouse.
crowd just out of sight.
Is it open, or would
The
we have
gates,
to,
the doors
like,
are open. Yeah.
What were we aiming to do? We're aiming to find a cleric, right? To
ask
try
about
and
the one thing?
this crown, which is fine, which is honestly is completely fine. I'm holding on to it. It's not having any issue here. But yeah, if we could talk to a cleric, because to like I don't know, get any curse removed from it, so I could just keep it more safely. Was that the aim?
I think it was.
I think so.
Just to remind the party, I think it was cleric or wizard or whomever, someone who knows. Not wizard. We can't say wizard in this setting, but I forgot that bit. I'm gonna have to.
Only wizards can say that.
Yeah, that's right.
People of magical origin.
Right, but they're not. That's not what. Anyway, nerds. Yeah.
People of conjuring. Nerds.
All right. Anyway, I can't believe that something I said by accident. As I was saying it, I wish I hadn't, and then now it's stuck forever. But yeah, you were looking for someone who would know what the fuck this thing is. Why is
there
it?
like a tower
is
or
it
somewhere that
doing-
looks magical in the town?
There isn't a tower. There is a large sort of palatial mansion in the center that you can see, and there's a large golden roofed building that you can see from this hill.
Would we assume that would be some sort of religious building?
You've probably passed through here. You probably haven't spent a lot of time here, but you've all probably passed through here. That is a building called the Great Exchange. It is a covered market.
Doesn't seem that great.
I mean, it's huge and it's got a golden roof, so it's pretty great.
Yeah.
More like the bad exchange.
Yeah.
Wow, this is the second greatest exchange I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we know what church? We would know what churches look like in this world, right? Is there a spire thing?
There is famously in this city a very large multi-faith complex that actually explicitly ignores the general rule of the island and lets anyone have a pitch up there and have a little section, as opposed to just the approved religions.
Dope. Can we see that from up here, where we are? 'Cause we're on a hill, right?
It's kind of like it's being obscured by some of the other buildings. This is quite a built-up city.
Be good with just walking in.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's go.
you've never had any trouble just walking in. Just walk
Yeah.
in.
We're just
We've
doing
had
it. We're,
trouble, but it doesn't stop us doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was gonna say I don't know if that's true.
Yeah. In contrast to the anyway, yeah, I'll let you do your thing and then I'll explain.
oh, just in our bravest decision yet, we decide to walk into a city.
Walk through an open gate.
Yeah.
I have opened.
Golden
Bad
Your
feeling about this one.
Imagine if this is you get fucked by this. Like how unlucky you'd have to be.
I'm gonna raise morale. I'm gonna play like the Wii shopping theme on my fiddle. Like,
Yeah, the best thing we could do when entering a new city is to immediately draw attention to ourselves.
Yeah, it's fine. How could this go wrong? It can't. It just can't.
Yeah.
So, unlike at the last city, you remember that there were like these massive queues of merchants and people who are trying to get in. It's a very, very wide gatehouse. Just let you in. The guards aren't even paying attention to you.
do they look okay? Do they look like
They
they're
look
asleep,
fine.
or is it just normal?
They look fine. They're just like, well, this is our job. We don't really have to pay attention to it.
I like this place so far.
I love work to rule.
Yeah. So,
Can we ask the guards which way to the church? I'm gonna do that actually. Yeah. Excuse me, and I'll wave over the guard on the.
So you spot two guards who are not paying attention to anything and are playing a dice game. And one of them goes, "Oh yeah, yes, hi. What is it you need?"
We're just here to do some regular prayers, normal prayers, and we're wondering where the multi-faith temple was.
Why would you specify that they were normal? Why is
Because
that?
we're team normal.
Just so everyone knows, these are normal prayers.
Yeah, there's nothing. Like,
Normal
there's
prayers for a normal party.
Nothing sexual in the prayers, I promise. I just want to be clear about that. Okay, so the guard doesn't take your sort of way of phrasing it at all, like, weirdly. He's just like, okay. He just gives you the directions, and he sort of explains that you have to go past the sort of Duke's mansion in the center, and if you just keep going, you'll enter this district where it smells of incense, and there's a big sort of like, what we, metagaming, would understand as sort of like a classical sort of like columns and things like that. You're looking for like the big Greek-looking building, metagaming-wise, but you're looking for the columned, marbled building that has a gold trim on it.
Okay, and do we know anything about this Duke? Is he notorious? Is he normal?
You can roll
Normal again.
People can roll history checks to see what you know about this city. Just generally, the Duchy of Horrocks-land.
15.
Okay.
23.
23. Yeah, you both would have passed it. So generally speaking, this particular region is considered uncommonly well ruled. Like every ruler they have is really good. It's considered to be one of the better rulers on this island.
Slave
Their leader's
feeling about
called-
this one, guys.
Their leader's called the Kirstammer as well, sadly.
Hey, this sign says that this place is called Omelas. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
what the fuck's going on? God damn it! Why can't a nice place just be nice, you know? What if that was the twist I was doing?
You're writing it, Sen, and you tell us.
What if it's fine, actually, and this is just a nice place I wanted the characters to rest up in? What if that? But it's like uncommonly well governed, slavery is outlawed, there isn't any discriminatory practice against any particular people or magic users of a specific kind. It's also just for like your purposes as adventurers. The reason you won't have spent a lot of time here is that this place famously doesn't have much in the way of Adventurers Guild work, just because like, it's a well-run place. What monsters are there to kill? Like, everything here is, like, stuff that would be trivial for you to do, usually. The usual work you would find here would be trivial to you. That's just guild work. Doesn't mean you can't find your own work. You know, you can't find your own work or get into your own trouble. But generally, this region is considered well-governed. It's peaceful, uncommonly peaceful, especially considering there's like a servile revolt happening in one city and the Kirstama got killed in another for some reason. It's uncommonly well-governed for this island. So, you know, this is very much like your summer vacation spot, really.
They've got a policy called "Don't cast, don't tell."
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
God.
You could even cast spells you could only learn from a lich, and it would be fine.
Can I do like a vibe check?
What, like a vibe check? What? Okay, like what? Like a
insight
wisdom?
on the town.
Insight on the general
Insight is a vibe check.
Okay, as you're walking, you can do insight as a vibe check, and I'll give you a vibe, I guess.
I roll
that's-
Inland Empire.
That's a 17.
Okay, I want to, like, as you're walking around, you're sort of used to, you in particular, Angriff, are used to a, like, style of interaction you get on the continent in the Sovereignty, where people are very serious and very business-like, you know, and you would only really have, like, armed guards, would you, for, like, to lend dignity to business arrangements and such. But here, there are no armed guards. By dignity, I mean just to kill the other guy if he screws you over. But here, no one has armed guards at their business meetings. They're conducting business in public. They're talking. They're being friendly. The vibes are off to you. It's just odd to be in a place that's where people are nice to each other and seem to not be screwing each other.
This is like the difference between walking around like a northern town or city, like I don't know, like York or something, versus walking around London.
Yeah.
How many more
People saying
ways
hi
can
to
we
me, I'm
get?
not sure.
Can we get Sinan to say this place is fine before we do something?
Yeah, like it's like you're all like waiting for the waiting for me to drop something awful on you.
Yeah.
I mean, we are bringing a corrupted magical artifact into here, so
Into
we're
this-
going to make it worse.
Yeah,
inevitably.
you're definitely gonna fuck it.
No, the artifact's fine. I mean, it seems fine.
We could give it to the Duke and see how he reacts. I'm sure he'll take it well.
No, I think I'll hold on to it, but it just seems fine.
Are we just going to be able to walk up and talk to a fucking duke when there's nothing like afoot?
We're not trying to talk to the
Rather we
dukes. We're
talk to
trying
a
to
cleric than a Duke, just because I think Dukes are
Yeah.
inherently more susceptible to power, but we could try.
Let's go to the religious mall.
Yeah, the one-stop religious shop. Like that's
Yeah.
I will point out that the Duke is probably not in the city. Just if you're wondering. So you can't. And also, why are Dukes more susceptible to power and corrupt? What is this like? This is like Crusader King's
They're already in power.
There's like Crusader King's brain because there's one spot up. You just start like craving usurping it or something. Anyway, you walk through the city. It's like really nice, local stone buildings. All of it really nice, pleasant. The weather's lovely. People are talking. You spot a couple of inns as you walk by that look like they would be very nice to stop off in. But you eventually reach this marble
Angus is getting
columned.
very nervous.
Yeah, you reach this marble columned building with gold trim, red, and there is a icon of a bull on the top of the building.
Anything about the bull that we should know or that we would know?
It's just a golden bull.
Ah,
Yeah.
it's
Is
not
this like
the
a
fucking.
Wall Street bull or like a
I was
bull ring
about
bull?
to
'Cause they're
say.
two very different vibes.
Wait, hold on. One at a time, because I think people were trying to talk there. What type of bull difference did you want me to clarify?
Is this more like a Wall Street bull or like a Birmingham bull ring bull? Because those are two very different vibes.
Not like a Wall Street one, like a Roman one, if you like. If you like Caesar's Legion. There you go. The bull.
Okay, so Angriff is not going to like this then.
No, maybe not.
Art's fine with it.
Yeah,
Wandering
Art
in.
doesn't give a shit. Yeah, you walk in and there's this large reception area, signs pointing to various different deities and so on. So I don't know what you're looking for here, party, but
Art's just gonna turn to Barb and say, "Do you want to ask who's good at removing curses or something from items?"
Sure, yeah. That sounds like a good start. Barb's gonna have a look around. Can I do a perception check, see if I can... How many guys am I spotting, and who looks the most competent? Can I see that?
Who looks the... Yeah, that's an insight check.
Okay, I've got 16 perception. Let me just roll insight now. Okay, I got an 8 insight, so that's not promising. But I can see the guys.
You can see
I might
the
not know if they're
guys,
competent.
yeah. You can absolutely see the guys. Like, you can absolutely see the guys. There are various people in different coloured robes with different icons on them, just milling about, going about their business. They don't seem to be getting into it with each other when they spot each other. Very peaceable, cordial. Seems quite nice, really. I don't know why you would assume something bad is happening here, or why you would bring an item that could fuck everything.
I turn to Angriff because I know that Angriff was with the Order of Tempest, and I go, are there any sects in here that you would trust to look at this item for us?
I mean, I don't really know what sects are here, I suppose.
You're not from here. You could do a history check, religion check, that sort of thing.
My religion, ironically, I remember is quite bad, so I'll do it.
I do remember that.
I don't know. It's as good as my history. I guess I'll do a religion. Oh, there's a natural 20.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
So what are you looking for? Like
any sects that I suppose would have been or could have been on good terms with my order.
With your order. So Tempest is kind of a war domain kind of deity, right? That was what
I mean the vibe is no war but class war.
Right.
Order of Tempest.
So you would immediately think of like war deities. So Tyr is a war deity that you could if you were thinking of like curses or mischief or trickery, things like Sune, the sun deity here, would probably be quite a good bet. But yeah, you basically come upon Tyr for like Tempest relations, Sune for like for the curse, trickery, nonsense. If you want to try and evaluate whether something's fucked, that's
I
where
suppose
you go.
In that case, I suppose Angriff would say something like, "There's a sect of Tyr who I would place a great deal of trust in. However, there is also, it seems, a sect of Sune who I wouldn't necessarily trust, but would know more about dealing with curses. Take that as you will."
Okay, Bob's going to turn back to Art and go, okay, we've got a choice. Vibes or knowledge?
I mean, don't take this the wrong way, Angus, but you don't trust many people who are probably fine. So we go to the people who might actually know what they're talking about. That might be better.
Yes, let us go and speak to the people known for cunning and trickery.
Well, this is a sun deity. It's not like it just happens to also be a trickery deity. It's fine. How could it go wrong?
Nothing can go wrong.
Nothing will go wrong.
Well, but the alternative, we bring a potentially corrupting instrument to a war deity. Would that be better?
Well, again, you're not bringing it to the war deity, you're bringing it to their worshippers. And need I remind you,
no.
I am a worshipper of a war deity.
Having this argument in the building, it's echoing around.
Who's got the item? Not you.
No, we're doing the whisper yelling that couples do when they're having a domestic.
The quiet yelling. It's like, it's Lur, it's time to wrap this up. I'm gonna do it.
It's a war deity!
Yeah, and Art's just always just slightly in a shadow somewhere because he always has to be.
All right.
How is Art carrying this artifact? Did we
I was like,
that?
just wrapped up in some fabric,
Yeah.
and just sort of like tucked under tightly under his arm.
Yeah, very
Okay.
oddly tight.
Bob's going to
A bit
approach
tighter
this.
than you think.
Yeah, just to keep it safe.
This thing then, because I have high charisma value.
You can follow the signs to the specific sort of section of the building, of the mall, of the shopping centre, the religion shopping centre. It's got a big flashy sign like game
Yeah,
with the iCard.
religion and vapes.
Yeah, it's it's actually an American candy store. Yeah, like, they also fix your phone. It's really weird.
Yeah.
Like,
What's a phone?
yeah, this is a good question. You wonder why
They
they have
fix
that.
your stones of fire speech. It's fine.
Yeah.
Re-enchant them.
Yeah.
Anyway, you find your way to the sort of little multi-faith complexy bit for Sune as well. See this sort of bright, sort of like sunburst with a woman's face on it as the symbol. Familiar to all
Like
of
a
you.
health food shop. This Holland and Barrett ass
Yeah.
fucking god.
It sells incense. You can get a lot of incense here.
I think I would start picking up incense, right?
Downstairs it has... No, this is a specific shop in Nottingham I'm referring to, and so I will not. I
1 GP for a
United
pair of
always
fucking
nice-
jogging bottoms? I don't think so.
And I feel like...
This stream's sponsored by Ice Nine.
Anyway, an awful lot of the shit in this flat is from Ice 9. Anyway, I wish they'd sponsor me. I could buy smoothed stones for a discount then. That is a real thing they sell there. They mostly sell obnoxious
Incense,
shirts.
bombs, corsets, all you need.
And then downstairs a lot of other stuff that you may or may not need. Optional add-ons, as I understand it. Anyway, yeah, you walk into this area. The smell of incense does hit you quite hard here. They do have some background music being played. Just some probably bardic
There's a
devotees.
Pepsi musical.
Yeah,
Pepsi
bardic
musicians in the top corner.
yeah, bardic devotees of the deity. And you spot a couple of attendants, both women, just kind of tending to the shrine that they keep there.
I'm going to try and approach humming like a harmony to the music that's playing so that they think that I'm one of their sect.
Hey, you're going to have to do a performance check then.
I'm going to try and endear myself to
Because if
them.
you're going to try and trick them, you do have to do a performance check.
That's a 14.
They're probably busy enough that this is fine. This is probably fine. So yeah, you manage to just like hum along to it convincingly enough. And one of them turns to you and is like, greetings. We weren't expecting any followers to arrive anytime soon. It's not time for prayers. Is there something we can do for you? A blessing we can give?
I'm on a... Yeah, thank you so much. I come from quite a long way. I would only turn up at this time because there's quite an urgent matter we have to deal with. We have a curse that needs looking at. And I was...
Just come around.
wondering...
It's like there's this horrible item that's of untold age that is killing
I was
our friends. Possibly.
Right. You're the guys to come to. Of course, because we're all part of the same club. I know. And I'm not adept to do it myself. So I thought I'd seek further help from my brothers and sisters and non-binary followers. So here I am with my cursed object, and I want to stop talking now. Art!
You just see Art's, rather than what would normally be happening, which would be him stealing everything he possibly can, just very tightly holding onto the thing, just in the sort of corner. It's just like, yep, and sort of edges forward towards the people.
So, what is the item? What type of item is it? Is it like an amulet, a ring?
Unwraps it and sort of still holding it, just unwraps it and just shows it.
Okay, how before you unwrap it, can you roll a wisdom saving throw?
Oh, you bet I can.
Yeah, but remember I sent you a message about the thing I fucked up.
Yep.
So bear in mind that your wisdom is not doing great at the moment.
Yeah, so that's 15.
Yeah, you try to unwrap this item to show it to them, but you in your head you're like, okay, we'll just unwrap it and we show it to them, and then the problem's solved. You're just like holding it there in the like wrapped, and just like your hands are not moving to unwrap it.
It's just like, well, actually, this thing has been, it's been maybe it's best not to unwrap it right now because it's, people have been tempted by it. So, it's a crown. It made like a halfling go feral, which is weird. Have you ever seen a feral halfling? Fucked up, man.
This is the way you talk in a religious place. By the way.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. There's no way that Art has any decorum about this at all. Yeah, it's fucked. Like, tiny, and so enraging. All that. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know if you can sense a curse to like lift it, but I want to keep this thing, but without a curse. You know. And I resisted it.
We should unwrap it. Trust me, we should unwrap it. Can I roll persuasion against Art's wisdom? Is that possible?
I think you would have to I mean, you can try and persuade him, but it's up to Art whether he's going to be persuaded at this point. It would have to be against the item's like margin of victory over his wisdom roll, which would be 18.
Okay, well, it's worth a try, and if not, I'm going to have to rely on Angriff's.
So you would have to do a persuasion DC 18.
22!
Okay. You feel the tension sort of leave your hands, and you feel able to unwrap the, But wait, first, I want to hear how you persuaded him. I want to hear the specific way you tried to persuade him.
Oh, God.
I want to know the words that beat this ancient artifact.
Am I persuading the artifact or am I persuading Art? So they're two very different.
Yeah, arts, but
it's essentially the artifact through Art, surely.
Yeah.
I would whisper, come close to Art so only he can hear me. In fact, no, I'm telepathic. I don't even need to fucking do that. I'll speak in his head and like make sure that the guys can't tell I'm speaking to him. And I'll say, Art,
apart from the very long pause,
everyone's
you're holding on to this weird. No. You're holding on to this weirdly closely. Now, remember, there's a lot of incense around here and other stuff to put in your pockets, and you're not doing that. Isn't this wrong? Wouldn't you rather have a bunch of crap than this? There's too much going on with this.
So I think rather than like being convinced, I think it's more that Art's just distracted then by just noticing in the first hand all the little trinkets that could be stolen.
Yeah.
So it's just like loosens it, and as he loosens his grip, like just sort of absent-mindedly opens it as he sort of looks around and thinks, "Yeah, there's stuff here."
I just realised that Art is essentially Bender from Futurama.
It will cost only one thing, just one eensy weensy thing, your firstborn son. Alright. With that, the temple attendant, you don't know if they're a cleric or whatever, sort of comes a bit closer to the crowd and has a look. Mutters a sort of incantation to herself, which you all will have a passing familiarity with. It's a detect curse. And kind of furrows a brow, comes around and is like, there's not a curse on this item. It's not cursed. There's no like, no one has cast a spell on this item to make it cursed.
It's just like this.
Yeah, like, it's like, what's happening? Like, what is it doing? What does it do? Like, what is the nature of the curse?
I mean, for other people, not me, it seems to be like...
It seems to... with it.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with it. But it seems to, like, tempt other people and, like, make them want to hold on to it, and it seems to make them, like, powerfully magic. This halfling was, like, killing folk. It clearly isn't able to, but with this sort of crown was able to just really like
we lost the person.
We lost Bar.
That's the power of the curse.
Yeah, the
power of the
curse.
curse.
Yeah. Now half my head is the dungeon master. No, I'm okay. I just lean here. Give it a minute.
We'll give it a minute and wait for it.
Yeah. I'll pour a drink in the meantime.
Yeah. Art just describes what he's seen, right. Always just being like, this is what is happening to other people, but none of this has happened to me because I resisted the effect.
I'm a special person.
Pretty sure I resisted the effect.
Yeah, sure. I
it's like I'm not running wild. I'm fine.
Yeah, it hasn't asked you to do that yet.
As long as I have my artifact, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as it's in my hands and I can keep it because just for like I would like to open a store and all that. So this is just for that. That's the only reason that we've still got this. Otherwise, I'd have just been like, yeah, let's destroy it. But I want to sell this at some point. So yeah, that's that.
That's the story. That's it. That was the longest way to explain. It's fine, actually. Everything's fine.
It's fine. I don't know why anyone would look at me weird. It's fine.
Agitated in this conversation.
It's fine.
It's completely fine.
For me, for other people, it's bad, but for me, it's fine.
Yes, that's right. That's how it works.
Art says sweating.
Like I don't think it's going very well. So she kind of looks more confused than before. She doesn't really understand what this is. So she asks, like, "Could I hold the item, please?"
Yeah, no, I don't think that's a good idea because, like I said, other people are getting like corrupted by this. So far, other people.
She's finally pushing back a little bit. This has been mentioned enough times now. It's like other people are being tempted by it. Well, if you're not tempted by it, you can hand it over, right? I can just have a look. Trust me, I am blessed by my deity. I can resist such an item.
To try and like save face, can Art give that a try? I don't expect it to work, but it's like
wisdom saving throw against the
Oh, that's a big old 6.
Nope. If anything, you cover it up again and just sort of pull it closer.
I don't know, that sounds a little bit like someone being tempted. I don't know.
Can I ask a question? Is there any other way that an object could end up like this apart from a curse? Could it be from a demon? Could it be just... Is there any other way of forging a metal that has these properties?
Could it just have bad vibes?
Yeah. Have you
Could
considered...
it just have bad vibes?
Yes, that's pretty much what it is.
And our warlock is the expert, so really, that's the most important question.
Warlock of Jamobily, the most good vibes fucking devil. Okay, she did really well on the history check. So, like, it's not my area of expertise. But there could be something inherent to the item. It could be tied to some entity that makes it behave like this. It could have an entity inside it that makes it behave like this. But it's probably an inherent property less than a curse.
Would there be a way to disconnect this metal from an entity that might be possessing it or live in it?
So that I can keep it.
Well, alright, you'd have to know what the entity is, and you'd have to probably find some way to... I mean, if it's an entity inside the thing, you have to destroy the thing. If it's an entity that's
that's
sort of
that's
bound
off the
to
table,
it,
apparently.
bound to it from outside, you just need to go find the entity and convince it to let go or kill it.
That second one sounds good. That does sound better.
But can I do like a divine sense to like see if I detect good or evil?
Oh, absolutely. This thing is
I cast that
honking great sort of like beacon of evil, like red, like the pure red, like renegade red from Mass Effect, the dark side red from KOTOR is all coming off it. Like, it is, this thing is inherently, like, as much as generally speaking in this world, I'm not going for inherently good or evil because that's boring. This thing is inherently evil. Everything about this thing is fucked.
I'm picturing Angrif's vision being like when Pippin touches the Palantir in fucking Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, like
it's fucking
you're having like flashes of like horrible beasts and like tentacled monsters and such.
Yeah, it just cuts back to Art, just going.
Angrif turns to Art and, in as diplomatic a manner as he's able to muster, he says, "Art, I think it may be in your best interest to show the person the artifact. now.
Art's probably considering it.
I was just like, that is, it's an interesting perspective. An interesting perspective to raise.
How- Tell me about wrestling this thing off of him.
Oh, you're asking me? That would be a contested. That would be a contested athletics check. But bear in mind the item beefs up Art's strength quite a bit. Like Art is like hanging on to this thing freakishly tight. He would have advantage on a roll as well.
I can give you bardic inspiration, Angriff, if you want to try, and it'll add a 1d8 to your ability.
What about grappling Art and
what did this bump my strength up to? So I just got the wisdom was down and intelligence was up.
Yeah, strength will be up to 26.
Oh.
fucking hell?
Yeah,
That's
Can you go through what?
Six,
So I think the only thing that
fucking hell.
I think the only thing that you sent me was that intelligence was up and wisdom was down.
Yeah, it's I think it's just the strength and the int buff, and then the wisdom just collapsing to like 6.
Yeah.
Although
Yeah.
a grapple's an attack, isn't it? So that's
a grapple's an attack roll, and I would say you have to make it look like you're not going for the crown to sort of Art doesn't get advantage on any sort of resistance to it, or that you don't get disadvantage.
I think Elfin's offering to help, right? Well,
I think Angriff would have shot a look at
the
Bob.
crown. Yeah.
Well, Bob
Wait, Elfin wants to help. Elfin, what are you going to offer to solve this problem?
I cast command at Art and I say drop.
Oh,
okay. Just jumping the gun on that one a bit.
What's the spell save DC on drop? Oh, on command.
Wisdom 14.
Okay, so Art has to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Watch this be a nat 20 or something.
Imagine if it's a 1. Also, you'll get advantage on it as well. So.
Oh, I get advantage. I thought it was a 1 there, but it was just a 7. So, yeah, 7 and a 4. So that's 5 overall.
Wait, is your wisdom not buffed?
No, you said wisdom.
No,
wisdom's low.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got a 5. Yeah. So Art, you actually just sort of have this. You know, like that moment just before you black out when you're drunk. You're having that moment, but you just drop the crown.
Oh, like you're on a train and just falling asleep. We just go.
Yeah. You've just had like the and then the crown. When you come to, it's just ding, 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 the crown is on the floor.
Angriff kicks the fucking thing out from underneath Art and then grabs him and grapples him. If you want me to make an attack roll,
that's an attack roll to grapple Art.
I'll use bardic inspiration to help Angriff because he shot me a look. Okay.
Yeah, that is 15 plus whatever the bardic inspiration is.
My AC is 15.
I rolled the worst I could, so you get +1.
That's all right. You've already won.
Okay, so Art is securely grappled.
Hey! This isn't on.
Calm down.
You're all tempted.
No.
Clearly, you're all tempted by this.
I'm loving this, gaslighting.
Am I the only one not tempted by this?
The sort of the shrine attendant, the temple attendant, kind of surprised at the sequence of events that's just happened in front of her, snaps out of being mesmerized by this bizarre sequence of events, and goes and takes the sort of cloth that Art was using to cover it, and is kind of repulsed by it because it's presumably fucking gross. And picks up the crown, sort of holding it like this through the thing, like it's just toxic,
like a dog poo bag.
It's dog shit. Yeah, just holding it. She's like, "Well, we can take a better look at it now." And she puts it onto a sort of pedestal to examine the
just
dog.
holding on, just
Oh yeah, you want to look at it. Yeah, sure, that's all you want to do.
Okay, now roll an investigation.
If you want to take it, you will be charged a lot of money because I want to sell it for a lot of money.
Or keep
And
it forever.
that's that.
Or keep it forever. Whatever.
Well, it'll be a lot of
Oh,
money, so
why
I don't
not?
think
Why
many people
shouldn't
will be
I
able to
keep it?
afford it.
Okay, so she's having a look at it. And he's like, you know, you're better off finding someone who actually this is a very old item. They don't make things like this very often. And you're probably better off finding someone with a bit more of a historical background than me. I'm a religious bureaucrat, and I just run the
great.
building.
Where
you just
Where do
work
we
here.
go?
Okay.
Yeah, I just work here. I'm a service employee. For God,
we came to you because we thought you were an expert. Please tell us where to go before we have to wrestle another one of our friends.
okay. Well,
Agri says, right, that's it. We're going to see the tier sect.
Oh no, yeah, let's bring it to the war people.
Sling fucking R over. Can we tie R up and sling him over my shoulder?
I mean,
Yeah.
We certainly have enough rope.
yeah.
This is why I don't have friends anymore. Because they just want to take your stuff.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily take it to the tier temple, but I mean, they'll probably take the
Right.
same thing I will. What you need is someone who actually studied the history of ancient cursed items. You know, like you almost said the word.
I don't want to
Oh,
know
we're not gonna
about this
find a
item
nerd, are we?
specifically. I want to know how to destroy it.
Oh no, we don't need to destroy it. We can,
Salvage it.
Listen, where can we find one of these people of Conjuring? Where are they?
There's a collection of 5-ish towers, a couple of kilometers outside of the city. Hard to miss them. If you go towards the southwest, you'll spot them pretty much immediately. One of the 5 people there should be able to solve this, or one of their
We don't have time to go 2 kilometers south of the city. As you see, our friend is suffering and in need. We need a person of Conjuring here.
Who is?
here. Well, I mean, she takes a look at you all and is deeply confused because of what she's about to say. So, aren't you adventurers? Don't you have a person of Conjuring with you?
Can I cast Hold Person on Art?
Well, yeah. I mean, he's gonna have to roll a save, but what's the save in DC on that then?
Hold on.
I assume it's a wisdom save, right?
Yeah, my guess is it's wisdom, which is why people keep casting it.
Fuck's sake. Target must succeed a wisdom saving throw or be paralyzed.
Good old wisdom. Nothing beats that.
I mean, I don't think it's gonna be 8, is it? That's not gonna be the DC, is it?
I don't think-
13.
No, it's higher than 8.
Yeah. There's one thing
Can
I
I-
know. It's which
Can I
number's
still
bigger than the
speak?
other. You can. I think you can speak.
Well, you're paralyzed.
Oh. Well, yeah. You should still be able to speak then. Thing.
Okay, just just sort of clamps off. It's like, this is fucking bullshit. This is absolute fucking nonsense. I don't know what the fuck we're. Oh, it's
Well,
At
only
least
got
he
things-
stopped wriggling.
Okay, so having witnessed yet another incredibly bizarre event in front of her, she's just like, this is not normal. Why does this happen like every other week?
No, it is normal. That's the whole point. We're normal. That's why we need to sort this out.
Oh, because you're normal. Okay. Well, do you at least know where your guild's inn is in the city? You do. You're looking for the Golden Mist Inn, which is, you could probably find one of your sort of like hedge persons of Conjuring hanging out there. They'll be able to tell you. Or you could go to the
that's a
library.
great idea. Yeah, great idea. Yeah, the great relations with them. Yeah.
It's a regional,
Okay,
each
but then we're
one's-
going to have to take this crown back. So if we take this away, how is that going to play?
What do you mean take it?
Do we give it back to Art? Because we would have to.
Yeah, someone
We
has
can't
to
risk
carry...
another one of us.
Someone has to carry the crown, and it might have to be Art.
Just give it to me. It's fine.
Put it on Art's head. What's the worst that could happen?
It's alright. You can
We-
just press command
Give
again.
it to the mushroom or the cat.
I mean,
The
no,
cat's
because the
not-
cat
The cat's not real,
Vic-
so I mean it is real, but it's not like
She's real.
for the cat would count as me touching it, so that still doesn't work.
Just put it in my pocket. Just put it. It's fine. Just put it back in there.
Will the crown fit on Danny DeVito the mushroom?
Red.
Sorry.
Red, which is or Cirrus, if you want his actual name, but you called him Red. It's like when you called that other guy Craig, and that's now his name. Well, you can. He's like a little pocket mushroom. You can try approaching the crown to him and putting it on his what qualifies as his head. You can try doing it.
I'm going to bring.
I feel like this is going to cause more problems than it solves.
Right.
I have no
Art
clue
is
what's
held
about
by
to
Angry,
happen.
right?
Yeah.
I will pull Red out of Anger's pocket out of Art's pocket. 'cause he
Yeah,
can't
Red
resist.
is just loudly
will-
snoring. Like through this entire thing, it's just been loudly snoring in Art's pocket. Like, what's going
I'm
on?
going to bring Red over to the crown.
Are we?
I'm going to try and
Red-
place Red
you-
on the crown.
you-
So I
you
have to
feel-
the crown.
otherworldly creature?
You
We're giving the
feel-
otherworldly creature the first crown.
You feel like what feels like panic from the mushroom.
You can try and stop it.
It's like no, no, I'm not touching that
Okay.
thing. God, why would I touch that thing? Get that thing away from me, God! Absolutely not.
Do you know what this is?
I know it's evil. Look at it. It's just like a crown.
It's very helpful.
And you're just piping up now.
I was asleep and hungover.
This whole time?
Most of it. I need to get my 18 hours sleep.
Why are you a fucking
Well,
dog?
can you tell this to Art? Because Art is very insistent that this is fine. So if you
Oh,
can
well then
warn
it's
him,
No,
maybe
no,
he can
I-
trust him with the artifact again.
I didn't. I know it's evil. I know we need to fix it. It's just I'm not tempted. You're all the ones who are tempted.
Except also Red is very much not
know what I
tempted.
mean?
Red is very much not tempted. It's like, I don't know, this sounds like a you problem. Like, I feel like you all need to resolve this yourself. I'm not touching that thing. Although,
So, you're telling
Red, unless you help us.
although, maybe it would turn me back into my actual form. And now,
No,
now
so
he's looking...
now the fucking mushroom wants it. Are you telling me that if we tried to destroy this crown, you wouldn't try and stop us?
I mean, I would...
I don't want. No, we don't not destroy it. We're trying to fix it, right? Try to make it so I can keep it. To sell later. It'd be a waste of money to destroy it.
Waste of money.
I don't...
Barb, she's going to talk telepathically to Angrif and Elfin. And she's going to say, do we give it back to Art? I don't want either of you to get corrupted or me getting corrupted. I don't trust... I was made by people who are very... I was made by a very corrupt man. I don't know how easily I'm corrupted. I don't trust myself.
Why is everyone quiet?
Shut up. I cast hold person on you for a reason.
Okay, I'm gonna need everyone in this conversation to roll a wisdom saving throw right now.
Oh, God.
Oh my god.
Oh, everyone within 10 feet of me gets a +2.
Nice.
Nice.
17 plus wisdom 15, 22.
Okay.
24.
Hold on. Oh, that's 5.
I should say, Barb, you're very lucky because you're technically immune to this effect because you're a construct. But
Oh, well, that would have been good to know.
I was doing it for the tension. Elfin and Angrif, you have successfully resisted the temptation. You are actually not tempted by this item. You have no grand ambition it can convince you to fulfill. Even though it's saying to Elfin, I can make you a mighty gardener. I can make the best jam. We can make the best jam with Jamobili. Take me to Jamobili, actually. That's a really good idea. And you seem to think that's not a good idea.
No.
And the crown was whispering to Angrif, think of the number of slaves we could free. If only you were a bit stronger, a bit more in charge, a bit more capable of corralling these people. You could make great use of them, and then you could free so many people.
Uh-huh.
But you're not convinced by the,
I like to think that detecting the evil and
helped
seeing
with
the
you.
fucking...
Yeah, it helped, yeah, for sure.
Jer-
That
Jeremy-
Clarify that we didn't... Can I clarify that none of us noticed that Barb is immune, so we can't just give it to me and know that I'm
Yeah,
fine
none
from
of
it,
you have
'cause we
realized
don't
that.
know.
Like, you absolutely heard something,
Right,
but
so we can't
you
just...
absolutely heard, like, a whisper, but you couldn't quite parse what it was. It's not quite sure how to approach a thing like you.
It's sort of like sort of, yeah, okay. That's cool.
Yeah, it has...
Jeremy
Okay,
Cromley,
so what...
Jeremy Cromley would try and find someone else to give the crown to, which would actually be the problem.
Yes, the thing.
He gives it
He
to the
trusts too many people
Kiyama.
with the
Oh
crown!
no, the Keir Starmer gets it. No. Go home, mans are back.
Second referendum on the crown!
Follow back pro
Okay,
crown. We need to make the crown. Art is follow back pro crown, I think. So
Okay, so do we vote on who holds it? How do we do this? Should we just give it back to Art? He's already held it.
Well, Art is currently being held by Hold Person and me. If we could tie Art up and then like just stick it in his coat, and then he can't get all weird.
That sounds like a
But
plan.
then you do have to ferry around a tied up fucking Art for a long time.
through the sissy, by the way.
All through this, Art's just talking to the shopkeepers, just like,
Well,
see,
they're not shopkeepers, they're temple attendants, but yeah.
they're everyone. They're just so tempted.
They don't
that they have
seem
to.
especially tempted. Although the one of the temple attendants, the one you've not really been talking to, this other woman off to the side, does seem to be edging a bit closer to the crown as this conversation's going on.
It's just, hey,
And is looking very curiously at it.
hey, like that, like, hey, what are you, hey.
Okay, so after our telepathic conversation, Barb's going to pick up the crown in the same way the shopkeeper did. With the
horrible
did.
cloth. Yeah.
And I'm going to tuck it in
other-
to the
other
ropes
temple
as
atten-
Angriff...
The other temple attendant almost looks disappointed as it's gone. It's like, oh, well, I guess that's fine then. I was just going to give it to them, that's all. I was going to hand it over.
And I'm going to tuck it in. We discussed, I think Angriff and Elfin are going to help tie Art up while he's in Hell Person. And I'm going to tuck the crown into the rope so it's part of the wrapping.
Okay.
Stick it in there like a fucking mummy.
Yeah. Buried with what he loves for the next life.
Yeah, what are you going
As
to
long
build
as
him a
it's
fucking
safe.
pyramid? Yeah, it's safe. It's very safe.
As long as it's safe by my side.
So the temple attendants and the general staff and people coming in and out who have been milling around have seen all of this happen, and there is a pretty substantial group of people just kind of watching this unfold, wondering what the fuck is happening.
Never seen an ancient artifact of evil before?
It's like, no! There's a guy in the crowd who's like, no, of course we haven't. We have never seen anything like that here. Why would we have seen that?
This is what happens when other people are tempted.
After Bob's done tucking this in, I'm assuming the other two are still finishing tying up. I'm going to sit up and I'm going to perform for them. I'm going to be like, and this has been a morality tale where you don't fuck with curses. Please don't talk about this to your friends.
Are you a Harlequin now from Warhammer? What is going on? Why are we singing morality tale? Roll a performance check with advantage, because that reminded me of the Harlequins from 40k. That's why you get advantage. If you remind me of Warhammer, you get advantage now. That's how it works.
As it should be.
Yeah, why is Art going on about the warp so much?
Yeah. Why is he talking about the Slanesh figure? That's very odd. Very specific.
That was... I rolled a 23. I think they're pretty thoroughly morality tailed.
They are entertained and morality tailed.
I feel like the crown would be more like Zinch or something.
Yeah, Zinch. Yeah. I mean, maybe not here, because it seems... maybe it's a Nurgle play. Anyway, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, but the crowd seem thoroughly morality tailed and have dispersed. I'm not sure that they're satisfied, but they're at least not getting involved in whatever bizarre thing that you're doing.
There's going to be some guy at a table later on and be like, you know what, I heard this song about curses earlier and I don't want to fuck with them anymore.
Yeah. There's going to be a guy, the HBO exposition guy is going to explain, so they tie him up, see? And, just... They have the same guy in every show. Anyway, okay, so you have Art and the crown tied together. you have very confused-looking temple staff, an entertained crowd that has left the temple, well, the sort of side temple, I guess.
Can I summon my
Feel free to
warhorse and
disagree
just
with me.
sling?
I'm picturing.
Can I just?
I was picturing Andrew if you wearing him as a backpack.
Yeah, that was...
You like making 2 straps out of the rope.
Fuck's sake! I mean,
You don't have to.
if the warhorse isn't an option.
Well, the warhorse, I would say you would probably summon him once you're outside, as opposed to inside the religion
Yeah, I mean, I
can
don't mind carrying Art like out of this complex.
It's not that long. Like, you can carry Art out, and it's, I don't know how Art feels about that, but...
Art just saying like, oh, you guys are going to feel so silly when you're no longer tempted.
Not realizing that.
It's like 5 seconds until you fall asleep on this. Back of
So, has anyone got a bottle of wine?
Oh, someone actually legitimately might have a bottle of wine. I feel
Nobody's
like
going through my stuff.
actually, yeah,
I do.
Art has like really specific angelic liqueur that's like really good.
I'm sure that Art's got a bottle of wine tucked away inside some deep pocket, but like
if you try to go through
in there.
Art's like, hey, and just feeling like, you don't go in my pockets. That's my shit.
I said I don't want to touch your disgusting pockets.
Yeah, that's what they would say.
We do have a bottle of sovereignty red wine in the bag of holding.
You got wine. You got some sovereignty.
Can we give that to him to make him?
Give me the bottle of wine, and I'll hold it to him like a fucking baby.
I do that.
Okay.
You're feeding him wine like a baby.
Oh God! What have we done? I guess the adult baby takeover is back on.
No.
What is going on?
Grabs the front like that, like a baby.
What is going on? What is?
Or like a cat being fed.
Yeah.
Well,
What is going on?
Art's making like bread with a.
It's like, yeah.
No, it's not. He's tied up.
Just like, kind of. He's not happy about it, but he is enjoying the wine.
Yeah, the free wine. It's always good.
So, when someone's annoyed, but also something they've enjoyed something, they're just kind of like, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay, we're going to the inn, right? The inn, the Adventurers Guild Inn.
Yes.
Okay, and now Art's drunk too.
Yeah, Art has drunk an entire bottle of wine, which means he's drunk. To be clear. So now he's drunk, and
order is restored.
I assume you're slinging him onto the warhorse to take him through the city.
When we get outside, yeah.
Okay. So he's tied up on the warhorse, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that apparently does not draw the attention of anyone or any guards or anything. It appears that you make your way through the city. It's quite a ways to the Golden Mist Inn. They're kind of inconveniently placed in relation to each other, but not a single person seems to find this scene odd. And
Art's just singing, they tried to make me go to rehab the whole way. They try to make me go to rehab, and I said, no.
No.
Yeah,
Shut the fuck up, Amy Cursed Hands.
I feel like Art has to roll a Constitution saving throw to see whether he throws up after a bottle of wine being fed to him like a baby.
That is a 20.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fucking fine. You're surviving.
Yeah.
I'm not even drunk.
Sorry, I feel better.
Would Art count as a foe at this point or an ally?
It depends. Are you going to act in hostility towards him?
No, I mean, because my aura effect. I suppose I can I'd have enough control over that.
Yeah, you can pick and choose who's what.
Yeah. He's not affected by the aura for the moment. Then.
All right. You arrive at this rather. It's a rather very middle class pub vibes here at the Golden Mist Inn. It's large. There's a big beer garden. What adventurers there are, they have very basic equipment. They're kind of going on baby's first adventure, like those people they sent in the sewer to try and get you. They're all baby's first adventurers. Young youth,
fantasy all bar one.
The scent of youth.
Fucking all bar one.
Fuck's sake. That is kind of the vibe I was going.
Brewhound.
Okay, there will be a chain of pubs called Brewhound in this world, then I guess. But yeah, you
Beer for wizards.
yeah. Oh no. Oh no, beer for
I bet it's spelled
Wizard IPA. Like,
Yeah.
fuck's sake.
It has special booths where you can record your mass message spells.
All right, you have arrived.
Yes.
There are some scattered groups of adventurers here. How are you? Are you just gonna carry Art into this inn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a
I'm assuming me and Elfin are quite far back, right? If Angriff's gone to a warhorse, we're gonna have to catch up.
Well,
I
no,
think
I've
it was
slung him
walking
over the side.
walking him along,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
Oh, I see. I thought you were.
Yeah, I'm not like hi ho silver away with Art. Like that doesn't sound like a good idea.
You know those
Right.
dog harnesses that have like handles that you can pick up the dog like a suitcase?
Yeah.
That's just what I'm imagining.
Yeah, maybe. It's
The Art duffel bag just coming into the room.
the Art duffel bag. Please no.
How did Art seal himself inside this suitcase? How strange.
How did Art shoot himself in the back of the head with a crossbow twice? That's so curious.
Art moonwalking out of the all bar one.
Okay, so you're carrying Art into the place.
Yep.
Yep, you sort of shoulder the door open, and
Yep.
all of the patrons, they're all sort of like, again, it's all baby's first adventure, so like you see like people who are clearly fighters with like very basic armor and a long sword, or like the peoples of conjuring, you know, with their very, very basic staffs looking over, and they're all like, what the fuck are these people doing here? These people look like they've actually killed someone.
I'm like, oh yes, I remember Precious Week.
Yeah, yeah.
Angriff turns to everyone, like notices everyone staring in the bar and says, "What? You've never had to tie up an ally before?"
Like not
Ah.
and then
No,
one of them who very much kind of looks like young Sterling Archer is like, not in public.
Angriff just pulls like one of those faces at that person.
Art
hey.
fully laughs, fully pissing himself.
Yeah. He's like, hey, you do your weird, creepy public play and you leave the rest of us alone. Some of us are here to drink. And he just starts drinking from a bottle of whiskey he clearly took from the bar, and he's just drinking it.
Pay no attention. This is normal. We need a person of conjuring now, please.
A bunch of the
An
sort of
experienced one.
you get like the most baby-faced wizards in the world coming up to you. Like enthusiastic children have arrived to try and help you.
How much shorter is this child than Angriff? I want to picture this in my head.
Angriff's a human, like is like 6'1", I think, but they're all like 5'7", 5'8", coming over, clean shaven, neat hair. They've got none of that like wizardly aura about them. They have yet to
Just
do
not
that horrible
getting
evil.
anywhere.
Yeah.
Not
Clean
getting
shaven
anywhere
wizard.
near.
Don't even speak to me.
Children, these are children. I'm not. I did like doing the Frank Reynolds. I do not diddle kids at the young wizards. Like, it sounds like a horrible ultra nationalist group. Now I think
Frank's
about it.
Frank's little
It absolutely
conjurers.
does.
Frank's little conjurers. That's the problem. They're all 18. Like they're all, which for wizards is under 18. Yeah, like. Now I'm lumped in with this guy. Like...
Any of you clearly underage people of conjuring know how to deal with curses.
It's not us.
Okay, deal with
Angriff does agree.
otherworldly
It's like,
beings.
technically, he's right. Not a curse.
I know. I'm good.
Not ancient evil. I assume ancient.
Ancient evil.
Possibly ancient. You don't know.
Possibly
Maybe
Tony
new
Blair.
evil. Either way, it's evil.
Possibly Tony Blair. It could be Tony Blair. It's like, I haven't considered the possibility Tony Blair could be behind this.
Art started to wriggle around like ID cards.
Yeah. It's like, what if we had a universal ID card across the world and police could ask you for it at any time? Which is...
one of the most recent episodes of Practice Cast we recorded was about Tony Blair's fucking AI initiative, and now just got in my head are going on at length about how we could save hundreds of gold by implementing AI into our adventuring party.
Yeah. It could pick out the adventures for you in the most efficient order.
What the fuck is AI? What are you talking about?
We're talking about passive income. We could get passive income.
What does the A stand for? Like, you hear one of the young wizards ask.
Arcane.
And what about the I?
Intelligence. I mean, that's just intelligence.
Like,
Arcane incantations. I don't know.
This young wizard scurries away as if an idea has just come into his head. So I'm gonna make a note of that for later.
To be fair, Elon Musk is a very wizard name, so I'm not surprised.
Consequences section of the document. It's very
Oh no!
Is there anyone left to serve us?
We've invented Bitcoin.
Yeah. There is sort of another elf wizard steps forward, and given that she's an elf, you can't really get a read on age so much. But she's
still baby.
You sort of look at the sort of scars. She's sort of like a couple of scars on her cheek. It's like some that run down her arm, tattoos down one of the other arms. It looks like she's at least done an adventure. Unlike a lot of these.
Is this wizard hot?
Yeah. Is this wizard hot? As you're looking at her, and she's like, "Wow!" She's like, "He's really charming, isn't he?"
In my mind, though, Art is slung over my shoulder with his head facing towards, like, the door.
Yeah, so he's
every single one Art shouted, "Is this one hot?"
Like, they're, like, much younger than Art, I think. So this game, like...
These are not the vibes he was exuding before this adventure, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it's gotten very weird.
Yeah, something's wrong with him, I take it.
That is nothing. Nope.
Is that? Do you need to hear any more?
No, I think that. Well, I mean, he's clearly drunk. But
they gave me wine.
She kind of. She looks at the party like, "Why did you give him wine?"
I mean, it genuinely helped.
It suits him.
Yeah.
It suits him.
They were trying to steal my stuff.
What stuff? Wait. now she's like, okay, what stuff is he talking about?
Crown.
I'm going to shoot Anger for look, and then I'd see if he approves, and if he does, I'm going to pull out the object and show it to her.
What can I do just an insight on this person? Yeah.
Okay. Roll an insight check on her. What is it What is it you want to know about her? Or like,
just to see if they're like
the vibes are off.
Yeah, well, basically, are they genuinely trying to help, or is this, just an opportune moment for someone to try and make a score? That is a 12.
Well, your party in general are quite
normal.
Normal. Let's say that. So like anyone could try to make a score off you lot at any time. Like, any time is a good time to make a score off you lot, because you are nonsense people.
Yeah, that's why I have to roll an insight check.
But this person does seem like she's at least trying to help, genuinely trying to help.
Well, at the worst case scenario, I suppose, is another person who got a strike down, so why don't you just show it to him?
Okay, Bob pulls out the crown.
Make sure she's not tempted, like you guys.
Dog shit bag, and goes, this apparently isn't cursed. It might be linked to some sort of ancient evil. It's definitely evil, and it's corrupted our friend.
Okay.
Can you help?
Wait, can she see the bits of the crown? Can she actually see the crown?
I'd like to think I'm holding it so like there's like an opening so you can see it.
She takes quite a confident stride towards the crown and eyes it very closely. Just like
Agri says, "That's close enough."
Yes, it's fine. I need to actually look at it to figure out what the problem is.
Yeah, you don't see with your hands though, do you?
So, could you place it on a table and unwrap it so that I can actually get a better look at this in some light?
Elfin, can you clear a table for us? Let's
ask the bartender if there's a secluded room we could go to.
Bartender's just sort of half walk, quite a well built man. One tusk kind of broken, one tusk is intact. It's like, oh yeah, well it depends. You could use one of the storerooms, and we can light a candle in there, and that way no one will go in there while you're there.
Good enough for me.
Is that enough lighting to do the job?
It'll have to do. And so you all bundle into the storeroom in this inn. Kind of dusty. You get the sense that this is one of the ones they definitely don't use very often. And the bartender helpfully lights a couple of lanterns with candles in them so that you can actually see.
I'm just picturing Art like propped up against a wall, like
That's exactly, yeah.
in the corner of like
Just like fully in the corner, just like
You fucks.
I don't know what's happening now. I'm Art.
And the wizard lady's
Are you
like,
hot?
the wizard lady kind of gives him a pat on the head. It's like, yes, we know you're out. And he just sort of pushes him back. And then she sees her hand covered in like the gauntlets on Art's hair. It's just like, for Christ's sake. Not Christ's sake, but by the gods. Just like sweet, just like tries to get whatever the grease and muck is in Art's hair off her hand.
Hey,
Art
it's
is
mostly not shit.
Art is just a combination between Charlie Kelly and Bender.
Hanging out with Danny DeVito mushroom. It works.
Exactly.
It fucking
And
works.
turn it back.
he's playing Nightcrawlers right now.
He's trying to find minerals. He needs to find the minerals. Dear Red, I don't like that we don't play Nightcrawlers anymore. Oh god. Right, so there's a barrel, a helpfully placed, quite disused barrel in the middle of the room. And what are you doing with the crown? What exactly are you doing with the crown?
I'm going to take it out of the bag. I'm going to gently distill it without touching it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to back away. And I'm going to say, I'm going to get some chalk out of my bag. I'm going to draw a little circle around the barrel and say, if anyone steps past this barrel, we'll know that they're under the influence. Do not step past this line.
Okay, so everyone in the room has to roll a wisdom saving throw, except for Barb, who is immune to the effects of the thing.
Do I roll
No,
one
you're
again?
already done. You're done.
I'm done. Okay.
It's already
And you all
done.
get a plus. And you all get a +2. Remember?
Does the elf wizard lady get a +2 as well, or not?
Yes, because we don't want her
To fall under the
Be-
influence.
to be tempted if she's not already tempted.
Yes.
I mean, she's an ally for now, right? It makes sense.
Yeah.
I got 15.
25.
Okay. Angriff, you are... Okay. Well, first of all, Elfin, you're fine. You're completely fine. You it again makes the promise of, I could make you a mighty gardener. Think of the strawberries. We like, it's just pitching different fruits to you, wondering which fruit will be the one to tempt you. You know, we could make great jams.
Yes.
Cherries?
Excellent jams.
Elfin's like, that's not my character motivation at all.
We could make apple and toffee curd, a thing that I actually bought while I was in Wales, and it fucking slaps. So if you ever see an apple and toffee curd, you have to buy it. It's really good. Anyway,
Angus, did you use that bardic inspiration from earlier because you didn't need to use it for my beating my AC?
Well, that's true.
Well, I guess not. Then I guess it would be a 16 rather than a 15.
Okay, well, that's still... You find yourself sorely tempted this time by its offers of liberation for many people. You see like big flash visions in your head of you at the head of a sort of Serval insurrection, sacking the houses of the rich, freeing those in bondage. You know, it's a vision that has tempted you before, and it's tempting you now. You feel like, you know, if only you had the power this thing offered you, if only you took it to the right place at the right time, maybe you could free all those people who are unjustly kept in chains. Or not just on this island, everywhere. You could free all of them. While you're thinking this, you've taken a step closer to the crown itself, but not quite over the line.
I draw the Muslim sword.
Oh, thank God, I'm a Muslim now. I don't need this.
Now I can free people by saying the Shahada. But you're just on the edge of the circle now, and you are now quite tempted by it.
Art's just like, I told you, they're tempted. They all want it.
Like, yeah, anger if you do want
Bob is
it.
holding out the sword just in front of
I'm the only one who doesn't.
and Griff, and says, I think you should take a step back, my friend.
Bear in mind that there'll be no like wisdom malices or strength increases because you don't possess it. So you're still mostly fine. You just want it. You just want it.
Can I I'd have to rationalize to myself why this is a bad idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I know with my own eyes because I detected some kind of great evil that is obviously not in anyone's interest for anyone to own this thing. So, I mean, I suppose the question is, how do I mechanically rationalize myself out of wanting this thing, if that's possible?
Can I roll a persuasion from you drawing my sword? Is that going to be enough for you?
Yeah.
Or would it need to be a better argument?
You can definitely try. You could definitely try the roll again, but I would say that the sheer force of will required would probably give you a level of exhaustion at this point, because you're trying to resist great ancient magic that's well beyond your usual level. So you can try, but you'll eat a level of exhaustion. Pass or fail.
A level of exhaustion. Well, I mean, I rolled a 10 before, so it's 50-50 if I'll even roll higher, and I won't have Bardic Inspiration. But,
I can give you Bardic Inspiration again.
I mean, that's true. I mean, I can try and resist again. That's wisdom, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright, I guess that's it. Oh, fucking hell.
I'm whispering along with the noise of my sword, and my Bardic Inspiration can give you a +4.
Oh, I roll a 10 again, so that's 19.
I'll say the second time of asking, it's a bit of a lower DC, so you're fine now, but you are just very tired. So you can take that step back, but you have a point of exhaustion.
What does the point of exhaustion do?
It makes you worse at things.
Yeah, basically, yeah. You know the way I am all the time. It's because I don't sleep. It's that.
Oh, do you know what? It was bullshit. The other day I slept for 9.5 hours, and I woke up and I felt fine, and I was like, "What the fuck?
Yeah.
Why did no one tell me this? And also, why the fuck is this possible?"
But yeah,
Can we look and see how is the elf woman doing? Is she seem like she's tempted? Has she stepped past the line?
No, she's not stepped past the line, but she stepped close enough that she can inspect it a bit more closely. So basically, first level of exhaustion, you get disadvantage on ability checks, which is not ideal.
Is this until a short rest?
Until a long rest.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, but this whole time I've been thinking about the fucking Council of Elrond, right? Because this is basically what this is.
Yeah.
And what has come up on fucking Twitter while we were doing this was this fucking Chad Council of Elrond video, which I've just put in the chat.
Hell yeah.
God.
I like a Council of Elrond where it's like got a manky, horrible Frodo who's tied up in the corner.
And also, this is happening in a pub storeroom. Like,
What if it was a manky, horrible Frodo tied up in the corner that was pulling a Chad face?
It's like, hey, I can make you a mighty gardener. No. Just... Right, so the elf wizard is gonna have a look at it. She's kind of looking close, she's like, yeah, well, I can't quite make out this. And she doesn't want to touch it. She's trying not to touch it. But you see there's this writing along this sort of silver band along the crown. Can't quite make out the language or the script. But my guess is if you can figure out what that is, you'll at least get a bit closer to figuring out what this is. She sort of mutters an incantation to herself. Her eyes sort of go over the crown again, and it's not cursed. There's not a curse on it.
We know.
Not a curse. My guess is that there's something residing inside the crown itself.
Mm-hmm.
I can
know
the spirit or part of the spirit of some kind of powerful creature.
Possibly.
Ah.
I can touch it. I can tell you
do
more.
a spell? Can you do a spell to see what language this is on there?
I can comprehend languages, and I can tell you what it says, or at least if it's a language that the spell covers, I can try and comprehend the language.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please.
Sort of takes a moment and mutters an incantation to herself, and looks over the writing. It's like, this is gibberish. It's nonsense. Just like exhales. It's like, it doesn't make any sense. It's like the thoughts of a mad person. It doesn't.
It's like tricks.
None of this is coherent at all.
It's a late manifesting.
Yeah, it has uncosted
Okay,
sums. I
Bard's
don't
gonna
understand.
Talk telepathically to Elfin as the last one who's not corrupted, and I'm going to.
Well,
I'm going to ask.
I should say
if we
Angriff's not
should
corrupted.
let her
He's just
touch
very
it.
tired.
Okay, that's true. Okay, can I talk to everyone? I'll just say it out loud. Should we let her touch it? It might be our only chance to find out what's happening.
Well, I don't want to have to tie up a second person.
That's not what I've heard.
Somehow Red has managed to find some alcohol and has got drunk as well. She's like, that's right.
Actually, can we, with your permission, my good person of conjuring, can we pre-tie you up, and then we can tip your finger towards the item?
You've used that before.
She looks so confused. Like that is the most baffling request she has ever received, possibly.
I'm gonna tell her straight. Look, you can touch it, but if you start wanting this thing, I'm not tying a second person up, so it might be a bit of old choppy for you.
She sort of takes a moment and she's like, that's okay. I can, I'm in control of this situation. I'm not tempted by it at all.
Yeah, that's not the first time I've heard that today.
Well, yes, but also she just gestures to Art as if that settles her case for her, and then gestures to herself. Very neat, robed, actually showered, well, bathed.
Fair point.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine.
That's rude, actually.
One of us should block the doorway in case she tries to leave, but...
I'm standing in front of the door.
Leaning Art up against the door.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Like a draft excluder.
Right.
This is a fire hazard!
I need to get a specific set of dice out real quick. Okay. So, you're allowing her to touch the crown.
Yeah, under pain of death.
To touch or to hold?
Well, I mean, in for a penny, in for a pound, surely.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure Bob understands the difference.
Okay. All right. Well, she reaches out and sort of very tentatively picks up the crown, and you see this sort of like tension go through her body, like something is happening, but she seems to have resisted whatever temptation there is and brings it closer to inspect. And she sort of says out loud, I can still comprehend the language, so if I'm muttering something, I'm just trying to make sense of what this says. And she sort of mutters a lot, clearly like turning the crown and muttering along, but what she's saying just doesn't make sense. It's just it's like syllables smashed together from different words. It's
Simlish.
It's kind of like what if Cthulhu spoke Simlish? That's kind of what you're getting from this. And those of you who are close by, you can make out the script. It's this sort of oddly flowing. It kind of, those of you who speak or write Elvish, it kind of reminds you of Elvish, but like a much, much more simple version of Elvish that's on there. Okay, does anyone in the party have the spell teleport?
Misty Step is the closest thing I've got.
I've got a Misty Step.
Okay, so none of you know the incantation for teleport, which is,
I don't know where this is going.
which is what she says, because it only has a vocal component as a spell, and she instantaneously disappears as she's reading along.
Okay, but
I do have
character, I know what teleport does, and you need to know where you're looking. You need to be able to see it, and if you can't, you're going to fuck it up. So you're going to be stuck in a wall somewhere.
It needs to be a location that she is familiar with, or where there's a permanent circle or an associated object for it to fuck. Basically, it needs. If it's a made up place, then she's fucked it. But
does no one have counter spell?
I've got counter spell. Would
I don't know. Let me get counter spell. Let me see. Because we don't have an initiative order. I feel like she would have surprised you with this, and so you wouldn't have had the chance to get it off because you don't know the incantation.
But everyone's ready for something going on.
Yeah,
so
but no one knows what the incantation is, and she was deliberately setting you up by muttering along to the crowd.
I'll let you know some bad news, Sin. And when me and Elfin were talking before we leveled up, we both took counterspell.
Yeah. Okay, well, I've rolled where her destination is anyway. So, but you would have been surprised by that. Like, I guess I'll let you roll a dex save to see if you can catch her quick enough to just sort of make the hand gesture, the like Italian hand gesture required to counter a spell.
Remember, you get a +2 because of the aura.
And she'll have to...
Is it a saving throw?
It's a saving throw because you're reacting to something, yeah.
Teleport is level 7 though, isn't it? So I don't have a high enough spell slot to counter that.
Yeah, it's a 7th level spell.
Oh, is it?
You can still counter it.
But
that just means that you've got to roll I think DC 17 before you can actually do it.
But first, let's see if you can even react to this quick enough.
So she knows a 7th level spell.
And she's just hanging out in this chilled sort of place. Why?
What the fuck is going on here?
I got 25
on your reaction.
I got 17 plus my 5 for the dex saving throw plus Anger's 2.
Okay, so
what am I?
Yeah, roll a dex save just to see if you react quick enough to get the counters to make the Italian. I imagine the gesture is this. The Italian, yeah. Hey, and then the spell stops.
No, I rolled a 2.
No, okay, you did not get it. Okay, so Barb, let me just get counterspell up so I absolutely understand what's happening here. So, okay, so you need to make an ability check, DC 17. So you need, with your spellcasting ability, which is your charisma.
Okay.
You won't get a +2 on that one, unfortunately.
Okay, so what am I rolling? Just a d20.
It's your it's a ability check with your spell save. So it's your
10 plus.
Charisma plus proficiency, right?
no it's just your it is just your ability check with the thing. So it's a direct. Well, I guess it would have the proficiency. So it'd be your charisma modifier +3, I would guess.
Yeah, I think it should be 3.
Would be my guess at this level.
Yeah.
So DC equals 10 plus the spell's level.
Yeah, which is 7. Although she may not have cast it at the 7th level, to be fair. That's
Well,
not something that you know. You don't know what
Yeah,
level
I
she
want
used. Would,
No, I got a bit confused. Am I rolling the d20 plus my charisma?
yeah,
And plus
D20 plus charisma.
Or just put.
Like
Okay.
sometime next week,
so that's
I cast counterspell.
Yeah, you cast counterspell when you're
14.
asleep later. What did you get?
14.
Oh no, she's
That
Did,
not work,
did you
it?
add the +3 as well to the charisma?
Oh, no.
no.
Okay, so that is 17.
Wait, but is your ability score not already including that?
No.
Does it not? That seems fucking weird.
No, it's two separate things. You got because your ability score,
That's
at least on the D&D site, it has like so. I've got 18 strength, so it's +4, and then pretty much everything you do also includes your proficiency.
I'm gonna read the spell very quickly just to make sure that makes sense because either the spell is fucked or so it's an ability check using your spellcasting ability, which doesn't include proficiency usually. But I'm gonna double check that because I don't want to screw you over because I don't know what it says here. So I'm just gonna double check.
Yeah, I think it's just.
Oh,
The spellcasting ability.
Yeah,
and
it's
DC.
Yeah,
you only
a-
add the relevant ability modifier. You don't add a proficiency to it.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm not using a weapon that I'm proficient with or anything. It's just a spell.
Yeah.
So I did not succeed.
So
Sorry,
she
again.
is gone. You see like sort of markings appear on the floor, and this sort of beam of light take her up, and she's gone. She's gone.
Art's immediately shouting, "You told you fucking
Gone with the
everyone's
crown."
tempted. Everyone's fucking tempted. Go find her."
And
I'm gonna. Can I cut Art free so he can? Because I think like he'll be able to chase after her because he's most corrupted. He'll know where
He'll
she
have
is.
a sense
He'll go
for
after
where.
her faster.
That's the plan. He'll have a sense for where
fucking
she is.
dog.
He's the cursed bloodhound.
Oh no.
I don't know if this is taking a piss, but would I have enough time to like get my familiar to go with her to the teleport? Or
No.
I think
no,
you've probably only
she's
got
just-
time to do one
she's-
thing, if
Yeah,
anything.
She's
I
just
didn't-
gone. You didn't even have the wherewithal
Yeah.
to counterspell. I don't think you're gonna pull that off.
Yeah. Like several seconds later, he's just like, "Where did they go?"
Huh. Yeah, wow, you really are slow.
Okay, I
Wait a
cut
minute, what
I
did they
cut
say?
Art loose, and I'm like, go find her.
Art and immediately running out.
Yeah. You do have you after like the initial like adrenaline rush of you running fades a little bit. You realize that she's pretty far away from here. That like you're talking days of travel, not like she's gone somewhere in the city.
Okay. Do I get a general direction?
Southwest is the
Southwest.
Yeah.
Oh, Art is immediately just like to the party. Southwest. We're going days of travel, and just runs off. Is fully just running away.
Just running away into the city.
Stealing nobody steals my shit. I need this.
He's just getting quiet as he goes off into the distance.
Yeah, he's just like, go give me. It's fucking David Mensa being like his volume turned down, just like screaming in the background.
I absolutely cannot believe that these people would steal my shit just every time something happens that it was like that, and I cannot believe these people have done this.
Just you've ruined Art's day. You've all ruined Art's day. Is the party following after Art at all, or are they letting him run away?
I'm not running after him. I've tried to wrangle him enough today. Thank you.
So, are you just gonna keep running and keep running?
Yeah, absolutely. There's no way I'm gonna stop.
I want to wait to see what Barb's gonna do, because that's gonna be the yeah.
Like, there's no way that he wouldn't like be just straight up running after the thing that he's been fully corrupted by, even though it's everyone else who's corrupted, not him.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah, like. Okay.
Okay, luckily the person most likely to follow Art cannot be exhausted in this way. So I will follow him directly behind him, like like that woman in 73 yards. I will be like behind that whole way.
Okay.
Just pointing.
Alright. What's Elfin and Angriff doing when they see Art just run off?
Oh, well, slowly, like, get back on the warhorse, and I'm not even going to make the horse run.
Yeah, the horse just trots along.
It's a leisurely trot.
Yep.
Is Bob gonna
He'll
go
turn
ahead?
up.
Yeah, Barb is running with him.
Oh, I am absolutely running after him.
Yeah, I get familiar to Bob, so got a
Keep an eye on everything.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, you got a small white cat that you're holding as you run.
Yeah. Figured Bob.
This is probably one of the most bizarre 2 hours I think we've had in this.
Yeah, somehow we've outdone ourselves. Like,
Somehow we fucked it.
yeah, somehow Team Normal have fucked it.
Art is just hoofing it into the distance. Barb is chasing after him with like a cat.
I need to add the Guess Who Fucked It emote to YouTube, actually, now I think about it. That's what I need to do, is add Escator Crusader Guess Who Fucked It.
Yeah.
But yeah, somehow the party
is Elfin on the back of the warhorse with Angriff then, or are you like just walking behind?
I guess I'm in the back. Yeah, if
Angriff lets you.
If Angriff,
No.
Angriff reluctantly letting you on the horse.
Angriff's like, no, don't touch the horse.
Yeah, exactly.
It's don't touch Roach. Okay, so Art eventually slows down because he is only human. So he does.
I was just muttering like, "Oh, she thought she was gonna get corrupted," pointing at me like that. Fucking these fucking polished people always the same thing. They're better than everyone else. Just
like you've barely made it to the like southwest gate of the town by the time you've run quite a while because you're quite athletic, and you're just there like, God damn it, like just sort of still trying to force yourself forward. And the embarrassing part is that the horse is already kind of catching up with you on its leisurely trot.
Mm.
And so the party is kind of almost all back together just because of Art's sheer exhaustion from running.
Are you guys gonna fucking help or?
Which way is it now? We can actually go on the horse, or
Southwest.
you don't need to run all the way by yourself.
Southwest.
It's directly southwest.
Southwest.
Wasn't that where the person of Conjuring Towers were that we were told to go to earlier?
I don't fucking remember. I was you got me drunk. I just puked so hard.
Yeah.
I give him another bottle of wine.
I'll drink some of the wine. Yeah.
Yeah, like of course. Like, what did you think was going to happen?
Yeah.
Of course. Does the part like? Are you right? What is the party doing? Because you're at the gates. Art's having a moment, drinking some wine, catching his breath.
Here is my reasoning. Even if we try and stop for the night, Art will wake up as soon as you stop being exhausted and run off again.
Art
so we need to go now, or we'll lose him forever.
I'm not gonna lie. As soon as I'm done puking, I'm running.
We just need to make sure we close all the doors and windows so he can't get out. Or get hit by a carriage in the road.
It'd be a shame if he were a rogue of some sort. Like, that would be a real shame.
How many hours of daylight do we have left?
It is like when you arrived, it was like sunrise. Now it's like afternoon, like mid-afternoon. So you've probably got 3-ish
so we could
hours.
plausibly make it quite a way down the road before the sun sets.
You could get past the wizard towers even.
Oh, well then, fuck it. Let's just go.
Let's go.
Unless
Let's go.
Angriff needs to rest because I know you're exhausted.
I got my horse. I'm alright.
All right.
All right.
Art runs.
I gotta be honest, this is not what I expected to happen. I'm
It's
gonna
like
be
that
real.
shit-
We
shit
are,
I'm just
Rocky.
like puking and running and
we
falling
are,
over.
yeah, like
Just-
Art, roll a Constitution saving throw, please.
I was just going
also,
like,
now that you're without the crown, all your stats revert back to normal.
okay,
also,
17.
Yeah, you're fine.
if
You don't puke
is
that
that-
much.
if you
I-
included the +2, you probably shouldn't because you fucked off into like more than 10 feet away from me.
I
Yeah.
did not include the plus
Okay,
2,
good.
no. I was just sort of humming Rocky theme tune to himself, just going. Da, 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 da.
He's gonna be in
that's-
no state to fight anyone. Just literally no state to fight anyone when he gets there. Okay, so you
I'm gonna let him lead like he's a snow dog.
yeah,
Just trying to
Art
leading
sort
our
of
stag,
I
you know.
suppose Art's variously starting and sort of running and stopping, just as he goes along. Which means the party's not having that hard a time keeping track of him on this incredibly well maintained road in this very sort of beautiful part of the world. Forests are much thinner here; they're much more sort of controlled. So it's basically like walking through a national park. Is what you're doing. You're basically jogging through a national park and having a lovely time, and then vomiting. After a while, you do come upon these 5 wizards' towers off on the side of the road. You spot them quite far away. You do spot these 5 towers, but you don't get any sense that the thing that you're looking for is there.
Just like running past, just shouting nerds, and then just kind of. If anyone wants to stop, they're gonna have to stop me because there's no stopping.
I will remind the party that you do owe a different person of conjuring a favor related to some star maps. Related to some archaeology and star maps and such. So you might want to consider that with wizards being nearby. But yeah.
Can I ask like a
They
mechanical
also
question?
might still know what the problem is, even if we don't have the item.
They still might know. And also mechanical question, go.
Now that my stats have reverted back, do I have that still like overwhelming urge, or do I start thinking more in my right mind?
You think a bit more in your right mind as time goes on,
Okay.
but you still like really want it. You
Yeah.
still really want it, and you get the sense it's kind of like quitting smoking, where there's always like gonna be that moment where you're like, man, I could really go for that crown though. That was pretty sick. But it's like
Okay.
speed running, quitting smoking. Like you're like cold sweats. You're like
Putting the crowd on after you finished fucking.
Yeah, like
Okay.
the sweat on you isn't from the running. It's because you're actually quite athletic. It's from the like withdrawal from this extremely powerful
okay.
item.
At the first wizard's tower, Art stops and like puts a hand there and is sick on the bottom of it. Waits for like Barb to catch up,
You
and as Barb catches up, he turns to Barb and says, "I don't know if you noticed. I think I might have been a little bit affected by that crowd."
Honestly, like you did so well hiding it. Well done.
It's just obviously everyone else was so tempted, as we could see from just what happened. And I just wanted nobody
Yeah,
else
you
to be
Hmm.
sick again.
Of course. I mean,
As you're sick again,
she starts trying to reason with him, and she knocks on the wizard door.
you notice this is like kind of a ugly, squat, kind of like a fortress tower, kind of thing. And as Art's sick, you see this person stick their head out the window, going, "Hey, don't throw up on my tower? What are you doing?"
Don't get terror on my throw up.
Yeah. Okay, right. What's your DC? What's your AC? Sorry.
15.
Okay. A hammer, like a sort of like hammer is thrown at you from the top of the tower. I need to roll for damage here because it's definitely gonna hit you. Yeah, the hammer strikes you in like on like your temple, and you take 6 points of bludgeoning damage from it.
fucking.
Okay, Barb's gonna break
I'm
into this
keeping
tower
this.
with that. She's not gonna having this. She's not having this. I'm gonna kick down the door.
Damn, people throwing up on my tower. Like you see this incredibly grumpy bearded dwarf coming down, and you open the door because the door is open, and he's like muttering to himself, "These people, they have no fucking manners. Like, why are they throwing up on my tower? These damn kids." This is the construct in his sort of like reception area. He's like, "Oh, I forgot I unlocked the door."
Yep.
Pockets
Well, you might have noticed my friend throwing up on your tower.
I definitely noticed
He
that.
has been affected by a magical item, and we came here to figure out how to dispel its effects. We no longer have the item, but that's another question. Now, we also owe a person of conjuring a favor. I don't know if you are one, but if you are, we could do that, and maybe you could help us.
I live in a tower and I wield a staff. I think it's pretty obvious that I'm that kind of person. Just sort of gestures.
Great.
He makes a gesture, and you just see that like the walls are just bookcases. Like he's just like I don't know if that was the right gesture. I don't really talk to people very often, but anyway. So wait, slow down. So you owe someone a favor. What's the favor? And I can tell you the favor because it's basically that the one that you renamed Craig wanted help understanding what this sort of teleportation sigil was underneath his tower, how it linked to anything else, or whether it was anything else. And you took a trace of the sort of the various symbols and such there. So you can just provide that to him if you want.
I think so. I think we'll do that. And then I'm going to introduce my party and be like, this is Angriff, and this is Elfin. These are my friends. They're not corrupted, so don't worry about them. They won't throw up on your tower, probably.
Good. So, I presume in that exchange you've told them who to send the information to about the sigils, like who to send it to, because you probably aren't coming back, or you might be coming back, but you won't be bothered to pick up the information that he finds.
Do you know Craig?
You're gonna have to be. You can just tell him which town he's in, which you don't have to remember off the top of your head. You can just do that. I don't know Craig. We don't all know each other.
He's in this town. I don't remember.
Okay, yeah. Don't worry. I'll take that as you knowing.
Yeah.
He's like, that's fine. I can just send him what I find about it. But so tell me about this cursed item, or this item that's making people throw up on my tower.
Wasn't cursed. It says art from outside.
Do you want some water?
Can you describe this item that wasn't cursed? Because you have a big picture of it in your mind. Could you describe it?
Does your friend want water or anything like that?
Do you have wine?
I mean, I wouldn't advise drinking wine, but you could.
Do you have anything that's like?
I mean, Jenny, we found it's the only thing that calms him down.
Okay, I have water. I have some water. Sure.
Pours you out a sort of tankard of water and hands it to you. So what was this? What was the shape of this item? What was it exactly?
Round shaped.
Round shaped. That's usually a ring. That's different. Although I guess a crown is a giant ring if you think about it. So
it's just a ring for a head.
It's a ring for your head.
Yeah. Everyone had that line prepared.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. We all know that.
Yeah.
You know the song? Like crown is a ring for your head. Yeah, and we all know that.
Unbelievable. Okay.
It's really famous where we're.
Yeah. Sounds better in the original language.
So it had this silvery writing on it in a language we didn't understand. We thought we were about to get it deciphered, and then the person who was deciphering it teleported on us.
Yeah, someone who pointed to me and was like, "Oh, this fucking idiot he got corrupted, but me and my fancy clothes, I wouldn't." And then guess what happened?
Well,
just goes to show you can't trust posh people.
Do you know?
Guess what happened?
Well, did they teleport with the item? Because you already told me that part.
Yeah.
But that doesn't.
You're a good guesser.
That doesn't mean that they were. Anyway, that's not important. Maybe they just wanted the item. really, really badly and didn't get corrupted.
Mm-hmm.
But in any case,
I don't think that's
sounds like some entity at some point has created this item, corrupted it in some fashion, and now it's resurfaced. Where did you even find this item? Like, did you go into some ancient deity's temple or tomb and recover it? Like, where did you even find it? How would you have found this thing?
I mean, if by ancient deity you mean like rabid halfling.
No, that's never.
Well, it was a rabid halfling.
Like, just has to have a moment. He gets a bottle of wine out for himself and just pours himself out a generous glass.
He does have wine.
He does. He's You think he's just hanging out in this tower sober? Takes a big sip of the wine and is like, you see, it would really help if I had the item here to examine it, but that does seem to be the main problem here. That does seem to be the recurring issue is people keep needing the item
got a
to
good
examine
read of the
it,
situation,
and then they teleport with the item because it's tempting.
But do you know, if we describe for you the person, would you know who that was?
So we don't all know each other, just in case that was what you were assuming with people of Conjuring. We don't all know each other. But one thing that might help is if you describe the effects to me, honestly describe the effects to me. What did this item do to you?
First of all, let's all get a little bit less judgy, okay? I don't think it's that absurd to be like, here's a powerful magic user, another powerful magic user might know them when they're in the vicinity.
From the nearest town, no less.
The nearest town.
She might not be
So
from
let's...
there. Like, how am I...
Well, yeah, maybe she isn't, but it's not an unreasonable question to be like, would you know them? Let's get that out the way first of all. We've all got high horses.
Takes a big sip of wine. This rant.
That's the first thing. The second thing, I'm not even sure I was that corrupted, so I could tell you what I felt.
Yes,
and then
that would be fine.
Well, I mean,
corrupted you were.
I wasn't that corrupted, but I knew that anyone else who was going to take this, was going to get close to it, was going to get corrupted and was going to take it away from me. All I wanted to do, I just got a real sense that this would be really helpful for me in achieving all of my goals and dreams, which is to open a junk shop somewhere and have a nice place to settle down.
Did the item tell you to open a junk shop in a particular place?
No, that would be silly.
Yeah. So, the thing with items like this is they're usually trying to get to a place or a person. And so if it's telling you to go in a direction, that's usually a pretty good indication of what it is. But if it didn't tell you that sort of thing, then I'm kind of out of ideas. It just seems like you have to find a way...
Did it tell me that sort of thing and I'm forgetting? Or no, it didn't. Okay.
It gave you a vague idea of nice coastal town. It was very much playing into what you wanted in that instance.
Yeah, that's what I was
more
thinking,
than like, hey, wouldn't it be great if we went over here and took out this almighty evil together, which we can definitely do together, wink. It wasn't doing that to you so much. It almost felt like it was hitchhiking to try and find someone. So,
if I remember right, it was not saying to Angrove to take it to a certain place to free the slaves.
It was telling him to free slaves and to everywhere on the continent in particular.
Oh, okay. Right.
Well, right now we know it's southwest.
That may not be. That might just be where the person teleported to by mistake. They might have fucked the spell.
Okay. Second
they
question.
Did seem arrogant.
This teleporter, she was an elf.
Right.
She had lots of tattoos, and she looked young.
Well, I mean,
she was hot.
There can't be that many tattooed elves.
He casts a judgmental glance at art.
There's not that many hot wizards.
He sort of looks at a reflection of himself and is like, "I've not aged terribly well. It's true." You do see a like drawing of him in like a sort of like a nice portrait of him when he was younger. He wasn't bad looking, but he's like 300.
Is this like
360 years
fucking-
old? It's just not. It's not happening for me at this point.
reverse Dorian Gray, motherfucker?
Yeah, he's become more like he's suffering.
If he was a better wizard, he'd have had some work done.
Yeah, he could have changed his appearance. He could have afforded it. But anyway, so yeah, they might have fucked it. That might not be anything. But southwest of here is probably not a good place for her to end up. I don't know how well you know the area. Depending on how far southwest, she's either at the coast already, at the somewhat major port town down that way, or she's in amongst this sort of kind of isolated orc settlements that we have in the hills here, in the various hill forts.
Okay, here's a question. Could you teleport us to that coast town?
He sort of thinks for a second. He's like, unfortunately, I don't have a sigil circle here to teleport you with. I would have to go with you. And that's
fine, you can come with us.
That's a whole day out of my schedule, and he sort of looks around and he's like,
We can give you money.
well, he sort of opens up a dusty tome to look up, to just look up what the spell requires. It's like, well, okay.
Wait, it's a ritual spell.
It's not a ritual spell. The teleportation spell is an
yeah.
instant spell.
Yeah.
And okay, so like my reservation is I don't travel much outside of the tower. I only really go back to the main city. I don't really go there very much. I'm not very familiar with it. So there's a pretty decent chance if I try and teleport us there, we're not going to end up there. That's the only problem with this. I'd do it for 10 gold.
Okay.
10 gold.
10 gold? I mean, we've got 10 gold,
10
right?
gold or components of equal value. I'm not particularly fussed on the specifics, but I can try my best. It's just that I'm not...
Before we give you 10 gold, do you know if any of your neighbours in these towers would be better?
To be honest, He sort of thinks for a second. He's trying to say it politely. They lack a certain... soft skills. They lack soft skills. They tend to be much more into their research. They only really come out occasionally to go to the city to advise the Duke when they're summoned. I tend to...
rubbing his head.
Yeah. But 10 golds or 10 golds
I will remind the party I have a unicorn horn from last time. I don't know if that's too valuable for this.
That would be...
How valuable is a unicorn horn?
Extremely valuable.
Okay, maybe
like
not
extremely, extremely valuable. That's a very valuable component.
I mean, I definitely have 10 gold that I can give.
Yeah, you can just pay him 10 gold. Like, that wouldn't...
I'm just going to pay this guy 10
A
gold.
legitimate solution to the problem.
Art's just like in his pocket, fucking throwing 10 gold, like, come on.
Scattered spells. Okay.
This is the equivalent of, like, you know, trying to scrape together a bunch of fucking cigarette butts to roll a, you know, do a rolly.
Oh, no.
I like to think, as he's pulling 10 gold out of various pockets, that other shit's just coming out,
Yeah,
like
it's
chewing
like-
gum.
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
like,
there's,
fucking-
like, all sorts
Old
of...
hankies.
Yeah.
A set of keys to a place he's never been to, you know?
Yeah, I don't know what this is.
Like, okay, I've not really been to the place very much, but I will give it a go. He sort of collects. He tries to filter out the coins from all the various like bits that Art has just chucked onto his table. Counts them up very quickly. He's like, that will do. So, what I need is for you all, probably best that we do this outside, actually. But I need you all just within sight of me when and within 10 feet of me. So just stay close, and stay in sight, and I will try my best to take us there.
Art brings out the red as well to be like, remember him?
Okay. I don't. Okay.
This is red.
And Red is just like, who's this old guy? Like, what are we doing?
Art just sort of does that thing where like you don't say something but you go.
All right. So he sort of he mutters the same incantation that the other wizard did, and oh no.
Oh
No.
Is that good?
Okay. The spell's unpredictable magic results in a difficult journey.
Oh, it's been sent to the warp.
You might actually be sent to the warp. Okay, everyone.
Yeah, we turn up in Jamobbly's allotment.
Yeah, you turn up at Jamobbly's mansion. His mansion, but it's just a small house in London.
The value really increased.
Yeah.
Like when he got it, it was fine.
Yes.
Infernal real estate is really, really good this year.
Yeah.
People just keep dying, and the property prices haven't caught up.
Yeah. Okay, everyone. Here's the deal. You are all taking, including the wizard. Oh my fucking life. 23 points of force damage.
Oh no.
Because guess who?
That's quite a thing.
Yeah.
Is that everyone?
Oh my lord.
Everyone, it's a dinger. Even Red is just like conked out. Just like he's just out. Okay.
Red bounced, surely.
Yeah. Oh shit! I just dropped it. Okay, and now where do we actually end up? Please be more than 54. It's not. Okay, so we. Oh yes, it's okay. So we end up in. So it's 1d10 times 10 distance.
We're in an orc chieftain's bed altogether.
Yeah,
And he's in it.
We end up further from where we
You
started.
could have. You didn't, but you could have. You have teleported onto a hill, right? And you can see the coast from the side of the hill that you're on. You all sort of land really heavily, and some of you have like bruises and stuff. And the way you're facing out, you can see this sort of forested, sort of idyllic forested area, a road that goes through it towards this large coastal town. But you sort of, as you get up, you turn around and you see like sort of banners with like a horribly drawn set of skulls on it, and you realise that you are at an orc hill fort, and you're just sort of standing at the gate like, well, this is brilliant.
Do I get a sense of direction on the?
Let me sort of get a look here. You get a sense, a vague northeasterly sort of like northeast kind of sense.
Okay. Art's just like shit, fuck, and starts like running but limping off in that direction.
Oh no. The wizard's he's kind of got himself back up. It's like, I am so sorry. That doesn't happen. Usually. He sort of hastily pulls out some of the coins and he's like, I feel really bad about this. He sort of gives 5 coin back to Angrith specifically. Because Art's already gone. So he's like, I'm really sorry. I am embarrassed. And as he says this, the gate behind him opens and a rather large orc, well-armed orc, just comes out and is like, what are you doing here? Just like, he's just brandishing an axe, and the wizard's like, well, I'm about to go. He just runs surprisingly quickly, just down the hill towards the city. And the rest of you, I assume, make yourselves scarce.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, Misty step past the orc and then hoof it.
Yeah. The orc just seemed more concerned with like what these strange people were doing on their doorstep more than like actually interested in having a fight with you. So you have managed to give him the slip quite easily. Like, not a victory for me.
Big Greg.
Yeah. Big Greg the Fearless and Undefeated. That's gonna be a recurring character later.
I've been guarding this house for 50 years.
Yeah. You know how long orcs live? 47 years on average, so it's actually really impressive.
Like Greg's never actually been in a fight.
Yeah,
it's
he just scares people off because of his size. He has like 100% winning record based purely off the intimidation stat.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna write down Big Greg the fearless and undefeated. So he's
New recurring character obtained.
Yeah. Can't give me a character like that. Alright, so you will eventually... Art's doing the start-stop run, I assume, with the wine.
Limping away.
Limping. The rest of you are how badly beaten up is everyone by the mishap, the oopsie that has occurred?
I have 6.
Well, just over half health.
You have 6.
Oh, 6.
Nightfall will probably come in about an hour or so. As you're sort of limping towards the sense, you're not making great progress because you are all quite badly hurt. So I don't know what the party wants to do, if they want to continue following Art's sense of where the crown might be.
I think at this point we need to rest.
Asleep on the road. Yeah, if Art falls asleep on the road, we can make camp on the side of the road, right?
Yeah. I don't know if Art's gonna pass out or whatever.
Yeah, I think at some point, like just after nightfall or something, Art just like fully collapses.
Yeah, just like on the side of the road.
He's had a big day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Far too much of a big day. Okay. So is the party gonna finally make camp for the day here?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
After all that.
Yeah,
Big Greg's house in the distance. The light of Big Greg's
Big Greg's hill fort. It's like, this is where I keep my 14 wives and 6 husbands.
Yeah. Only Greg's allowed.
Yeah, all of them are called Greg, especially the wives.
Yep, and they
Greg
have
White,
great sausage rolls.
Greg White,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Please, Greg is my middle name. What's your first name? Also Greg.
Greg, yeah. Greg.
But with 2 G's.
Big Greg.
He's like Super Mario's Mario.
Yeah.
Mario Jumpman Mario, his full name.
I remember having to explain to my partner that Luigi's surname was Mario.
Oh no.
It was that and like having to explain that Grimace was real, or like not real, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
What?
The character Grimace isn't
Wait,
like.
back up!
Wait, Grimace is. Wait, there's an actual. Wait.
Yeah. Do we all know Grimace is real and he lives in our hearts?
Yeah, that's presumably what was meant by that.
He appears in my bed at 3 a.m. every night.
He died for our sins, and now he lives in our hearts.
Oh no. Fuck's sake. Trying to quickly write out a character block for this particular thing that's about to happen. But okay, so the party has set up camp. If you want to have any conversations or confrontations about what has occurred today, now is the time to do it. While the Dungeon Master tries to quickly write up a stat block for someone you're going to have to deal with.
Uh-oh.
Can we set a trap so that if Art tries to run off again, it'll wake us up?
Yeah, you
Can
can.
we put like a bell on him?
Can we stick some fucking bells on him?
Yeah, you could. You have bells. You have cat toy. Don't you have giant cat toy? So you can attach the giant cat toy like he's a cat.
We can just say to Art, hey, look at all this random garbage we found, and it's just a pile of bells.
I think that might work, you know. I don't know.
I mean, Art's like,
we're
fully
gonna
asleep, so if you just leave bells near his face, he'll pick them up while he runs off.
Yeah, we're gonna play Buckaroo with Art. We're gonna attach as many like loud, jangly things to his clothes as possible.
Oh no. Yeah. This is going really well. Let me try and work out how much health I need to add to this guy. This is not a good thing to hear me saying.
I was gonna say, do we get time to take a long rest before you?
Yes, you
ambush us?
absolutely. No, this is not an ambush. This is a character that you will have to deal with later.
Okay.
Thank
God. Nice.
Yeah, this is gonna be a real fucking dickhead. Okay, so I have a stat block ready for this guy for tomorrow. So does the party need to discuss anything urgently tonight, or are we happy to just rest?
What are we doing? Are we giving Art a bunch of bells?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, literal bells to put around him.
And like coins that clatter next to each other
Yeah.
because they're too close and stuff like that.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think you can really do much short of giving Art a box full of change.
You'll just rummage through it all night.
Yeah, I mean, it's fairly
And like
just...
some empty bottles near the tent flap, so that when he leaves, it'll like go like some wind chimes.
That's exactly the sort of shit you'd love.
Yeah. I believe it.
Aside from that, I think we're all pretty exhausted.
Yeah. Okay. Is anyone doing anything at night that I need to be aware of while you're sleeping?
I mean, Barb's gonna watch, obviously, because she can keep her eyes open.
Oh,
while
who's
she's
taking
resting.
watch during the night?
What? Oh, it's got to be Barb, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So, Barb, no one directly threatens your camp through the night, but you do notice suspiciously organized-looking patrols of orcs running around. And a lot of them do seem to be heading in a specific direction.
Towards Greg.
Not Greg. Away from Greg.
Oh,
Greg is not important. He's not an important man. He's important to his wives and husbands, but not to wider orc society. He is not a famed scholar and cosmopolitan man of the world, unfortunately.
the ultimate proletarian, Greg. Okay,
I mean, at the end of the day, Greg just
I'll write
wanted
in
to
my
be a
little diary.
baker.
Yeah, he didn't.
True.
He just wanted to make nice baked goods for his family, and now he has to
Yeah.
run a shop chain across the continent. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ultimately, everyone ends up regretting selling out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some really tired yes there.
I think the moment that we've created Greg's in the game is just like, it felt like an inevitability, and now that it's arrived, it's like it's nice, but where do we go from here?
Well, we'll see. So, the party, no one does any nighttime shenanigans I need to be aware of. No one's sneaking off, no one's doing anything like that. Right.
I prepared resistance, but I don't know if it will actually be useful.
What resistance are you preparing?
The spell where you can touch someone and
Okay.
we had a D4 to resist.
Okay, so you are the part. It's just when you wake up, the sense of your sense of where the artifact is weakening, but you still have a sense of where it is, and it's still in.
Do I get the sense that means it's going further away? Or
No,
that
it's you're getting more sort of like you're recovering,
okay.
but you still know where it is, and it hasn't moved since last night.
Okay. Well, off he runs.
By the way, Angrif, your exhaustion level is gone.
Yay!
You are normal again. Well, notwithstanding the.
No, you can't take it back.
Okay, so as the party runs up, you begin to see where these groups of orcs were going to. They seem to be going to this specific hill fort, which is where Art thinks the artifact is.
Nice.
And this is it doesn't seem like something good is happening here.
Great.
What are the vibes like in the hill fort? Does it seem pretty cool?
It's
Pretty chill?
It's a pretty basic kind of hill fort, thatched roofs and such. Wooden palace. It's like a sort of beefier wooden palisade. It's not a particularly impressive fortification. The impressive thing about it is it's on a hill and that there's a bunch of people around it, sort of like banging drums, smashing their weapons against their shields, chanting. They seem to be celebrating something.
Oh.
Mm.
Does anyone speak Orcish?
Yes.
Yes, you're just hearing them chant, "War Chief, War Chief." They appear to have a new
Chanting Warchief.
They seem to have a new big boy in charge.
This seems
Big
bad,
lad.
right?
Big lad.
Big lad, Magnus Maximus is here. the self-declared
Angrif,
Magnus
can you make us
Maximus.
the introductions if you understand Orcish? Can you endear us to the group?
Probably not.
They don't seem like hostile to
Can
your
you please
presence. They don't seem hostile to your presence. Just a big group of orcs and half-orcs hanging out together.
Can I just be like, just sort of shuffle through the crowd, just go, excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like while they're like chanting.
Just like patting people on the shoulder. Hello, big man.
Yeah, there's just some like particularly large tattooed orc who just sort of politely sort of does the preemptive move to let you through.
Like just that, like
I'm going to add
just
the melody to their chanting, the big man. I'm going to do like a little Sephiroth thing,
Magnus Maximus. But as you approach, you spot what might well have formerly been the wizard who stole the crown from you. Essentially, some form of crucifixion has happened to her, but it looks like she was put through it before she was like hung up on the sort of gate of this particular hill fort. So
is she fully dead?
Oh, she's
We
fully
recognise
dead.
her.
She's dead.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah.
Angrif just turns to Art, nudges him in the ribs and said, "That could have been you."
Yeah.
I just like, to be honest, I was thinking if it had worked out, we would have recruited her. We need one of those folk on our team, but
Well,
fucking idiot.
yeah. Fuck the spell. Ended up in the big
Bob's going to...
in Magnus Maximus's camp, and now
Bob's going to nudge the person closest to the crucifix and say, so what happened here then?
some elf showed up in the big boss's tent, so he cut her head off. They had to reattach it for the show. You see, like, just the sort of stitch, these sort of really crude stitch marks, and to reattach it. Then she had some thing on her, some shiny, and he put it on his head. He got real strong. Started beating up the other war chiefs. Punched one so hard his jaw went into the sea. So now we're gathering. Yeah, you can't quite make out the sea from here. We're gathering.
Can we come in to pay respect to the war chief? We'd love to tell him how cool he is.
You'd have to get in line, and you see there is like a very orderly line to pay respect to the war chief. The rest of us are just here enjoying a drink.
Do you know if Big Greg's got a stall here? Or does Big Greg have a stall here we can get some food and then wait in line?
No, this place has not accepted the truth of Big Greg.
Alright.
But yeah,
well, that goes and waits in line.
Yeah, Art's waiting
in
line to just sort of meet with this new war chief. The new Magnus Maximus. I feel like that should be the title for the Orc War Chief now.
I was just going to try and walk in, actually.
Just
I see the doors open.
Right into his tent. Just going to walk into his tent. Are you going to...
Oh, okay. Art follows then.
The war chief is... He's a big boy. Like, when they say, like, they're basically chanting for the big boy, they mean a big boy. If he was standing...
like Grimgore.
Yeah, if he was standing, he would probably clear 8 foot tall. And he is a wide lad. He's built like a vending machine. Like a giant vending machine. Just sitting in his...
And he's wearing the crown.
He's wearing the crown on his head. Makeshift throne adorned with, like, sort of the rib bones of large animals and skulls. And he's just sat there listening to some much smaller orc snivel at him. He's like, "That's enough out of you!" Just slaps him and just sends him flying back out of the tent. It's like, "Oh, we got pink skins here now." You see his hands tighten on the thing. He looks at Art specifically, and you notice his hands tense on the sort of tiger skulls he has on the arms of his throne, and you can see like the skulls actually crack from the pressure that he's applying to them from his hands.
Yeah, he seems
Okay,
nice.
so try to distract him. I'm going to bow, and I'm going to say, "Greetings. We are emissaries from across the sea. I'm the emissary from the Nihai Empire. As you can see, I am a construct from the Nihai Empire. We're very specialized, and we're here to pay our respects to the great Warchief and offer our support in the coming wars."
You have to roll a deception check against this guy. I wonder how you're going to fare against Orc Warchief with the crown's power. I wonder how that's going to play.
24.
I should say you should roll with disadvantage on this. Just because he's disinclined to trust constructs or pinkskins.
Nice.
I like that I came up with a slur for white people, though, through this. That's pretty fun.
Well, if it's disadvantage, then it's an 8. But I'll have you know that I thought that was a good argument.
He's like, think I don't know what a Nihai Empire is. I know your emperor doesn't pay tribute to anyone, doesn't have allies. I don't want your sort here. Why have you come here? You like
okay,
the lesser orcs have sort of backed out of the tent. Like they get the sense that something bad is about to happen, so they have backed out of the tent.
We
wanted to speak to the person who. Sorry, we wanted to speak to the great holder of this crown that is so precious.
We were looking for the elf. There's no point lying. We were looking for the elf.
What business did you have with her?
Stole something.
Oh, I bet she did. But I know what it is too.
It wasn't. I tell you what, it wasn't. It wasn't a crown.
You're gonna have to roll a deception check to try and convince him you're not here for the crown. Because, by the way, Art in particular has to roll with disadvantage on this. Because it's definitely not telling him to trust Art at this particular moment.
Okay, I mean 11.
He stands, and it's at this point you notice that the tent, it's a much taller tent than you would usually expect, and he's just towering above you. You get a better look at him. He's armed with this very crude but very large axe and a spear. He walks towards Art in particular. So you want the crown? You're tempted by it.
No.
Everyone in this interaction, all 4 of you need to roll a wisdom saving throw now.
Oh, for God's sake! Everyone gets a +2.
Oh, that's great on my natural -1 to wisdom in the first place.
Yeah.
Great, that is 5.
16 plus 5 plus 2, so that's 23.
All right.
15.
Okay. Barb is immune to it anyway because it doesn't really understand how to convince a construct. Elfin and Art, you in this moment you take a surprisingly daring step closer to the Orc Warchief. And he's just eyeing both of you up. He doesn't seem physically threatened by either of you at this point, which is probably quite obvious why he's not particularly physically threatened by you. But he is looking at you very carefully, like, so it's a challenge then. Single combat for the crown.
Arm wrestle for it.
Singles combat? No, I don't think that. I'm in a relationship. It's so that we couldn't do that. We have to do something else.
Trying to gracefully back out of this. You can forfeit, but you'll never get the crown then.
Okay.
He's just gonna willingly walk away. Let the Orc Chief have the all-powerful crown.
Art's a rogue. He'd be like, I'm not gonna fight him. I'll leave and come back at night and steal it from his fucking head.
Yeah.
ask you, great Orc Warchief, does it feel right to have this crown giving you extra strength? Shouldn't you want to prove yourself on your own without the help of some shiny metal object?
He sort of looks like you don't understand anything about Orc culture or about himself. Like, why wouldn't I take an advantage? Freely given by some foolish elf. Showing up in my tent in the middle of the night. It's a good job I swing first and ask questions later. You get the sense he killed her and pretty much immediately being woken from a nap. Like, that does seem to be the story that has played out here.
Well then, how about you let us work for you? Let us stay with you, we can serve you.
What use would I have for a musical toy box? Like...
I can cast spells, I can, I look pretty, I can cook food, I can play songs. You like songs?
He's not. He doesn't.
I think Angriff looks at Barb and says, "I think orc music is somewhat different from your oeuvre."
A scrawny human.
Barb started to back away towards the entrance of the tent. In that case,
Yeah. Orcs like drum and bass. Everyone knows that.
Yeah, that's why they're doing the drums. They're going heavy on the drums.
No, they're all about Gabba.
You see the Orc Warchief just have this moment where he like winces, and he takes the spear, and he just sort of has this moment where he's like, he seems like he's trying not to attack you in this moment, and he just sort of relaxes, puts the spear away. I will grant you safe passage out of the fort, but you are never to return.
Okay.
That is straight up outrageous hospitality from an orc.
Yeah.
We're not going to get much better than that.
Yeah, that's the best deal you will get.
We get back.
Yeah, you walk out, you leave. Yeah. It sucks. Hit the brick.
As soon as we are out of earshot, Art turns to Elf and is like, "Pass without a trace. Wait until night. Pass without a trace, so we can steal this thing off his head."
Yeah, you're at like the you're presumably you wait until you're away from the queue to pay homage to the
yeah. Once we're away from everything, just like yeah, I know you've got to pass out a trace. I'm good at stealing.
Yeah, Elfin's trying to work out if it's probably better for Art to have it
than the Orc Warchief.
We still have the disguise self ring, right? You could disguise yourself as the Orc Warchief. Is that possible?
We do have the disguise self ring. True.
We need Warchiefism without Warchief.
Hold on, let me just double check whether disguise self lets you change your size real quick.
I don't think it does. I think I'd have to just go for a normal orc.
Yeah,
that was
you'd have to be like a normal orc.
Very skinny orc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I could disguise myself as an orc.
Skinny orc.
Yeah. Yeah, you could look like a half orc. That's a viable thing with the spells with the disguise self ring.
So I'm just suggesting we go in there after sundown, pass without a trace, disguise as an orc, steal it off his head, maybe slit his throat and drink his blood. I don't know. That's the emotion I'm feeling. I don't know if it's logical, but you know, and then just leave.
Do orcs take slaves? I'm thinking about how we can convince Angriff.
You have to roll a history check to see if you know anything about the orcs of this region.
I imagine orcs, in general, as a rule, will just eat or kill anything that isn't an orc, and even then,
orc is more like a cultural identifier. They incorporate all peoples into their hordes and such.
I suppose I'm on that Warhammer shit at the moment. I've got to be honest with you.
Yeah. They're also a
I rolled
fungus.
an 11, so I imagine I don't know much.
Curiously, they're also a fungus.
I rolled 18.
You rolled 18. Okay, Elfin. The orcs in this region, they tend to have pretty close ties with the humans anyway. They tend to have pretty good so there's been enough cultural contact that they don't take slaves as such. They sort of will incorporate anyone who is willing to adhere to their general cultural norms into their society, which is, where do half-orcs come from? Question mark, right?
Mm.
And I'm not gonna do the whole shtick that I should have done, where I was like, when a daddy orc, etc. But there you go.
Daddy orc.
Yeah.
We
No.
we could derail this whole campaign by joining joining an orc tribe and just living with them forever.
You could just chill with the orcs. It's like a legit option.
Oh, just straight up no to that.
Yeah. Just no.
Daddy orc, nope.
Allow me
nope.
to stop you right there. No.
That's done. Nope.
We're killing that idea in the cradle. So you have left. I presume you go back to your original campsite, considering it wouldn't have been that far.
Yeah, it seems safe.
And you can make your plans, but I don't know if all of the party are on board necessarily.
I have my pitch. I'll wait for anyone else to give a counter offer.
I mean, Barb will do whatever Art does. I feel like Elfin's already agreed. It's just seeing if Angriff is in.
Well, I'm not exactly enthused about having this, but it's probably better it be in Art's hands than on the head of an orc that will do God knows what with it.
She's just going to expand the trading empire and network. You don't know. Why do you assume he's going to do something bad?
Why would you assume I would do something bad?
Well,
because Art doesn't have a team of a thrall of fucking massive horde of orcs
and
following him around. Yeah, orcs and half orcs following him around because he's a big fucking brick shit house of a lad.
Yeah, the big boy.
Yeah.
The official big boy of the orc society.
So, we're good. We have a plan.
As good as we ever get.
Hell yeah.
Alright. So I need to write some sheets out real quick. But yeah. Okay, so what is the party doing in the meantime until nightfall? Are you doing anything? Are you just chilling, or what?
I mean, I'm just chilling. I don't know what anyone else wants to do.
Yeah, if anyone has...
What can I do at this point?
you could explore the area, you can see if there's anything worth looking at, or you can just wait and skip till nightfall and the heist. It always comes down to a heist.
Yeah.
I think I would want to go back to the orc camp and ingratiate myself with the locals and become their friend and play them songs so I can get my distracting hat on like I did last time.
You're not allowed in the thing, for one.
Oh, that's true. Shit.
Just for one,
Okay.
if you show up, you will immediately be killed by the Magnus Maximus. So...
I did take Disguise Self
yeah?
as a spell.
Yeah?
They're not going to recognize me, will they?
Well...
That's just another construct.
Yeah, it's just a different iron construct shows up.
A different, very suspicious.
Your clothes are actually green this time.
Yeah.
Can I disguise myself as a half-orc bard?
A half-orc bard? Yeah, you can absolutely make yourself look like a half-orc bard.
Okay.
Describe what a half-orc bard would look like and dress like.
Okay, so I am wearing, like, the same shape of my robes, but, like, in furs. All in furs with, like, little teeth and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Little braids with, like, shells and teeth. And a necklace with some, like, shells that jangle against each other so that when you dance, it makes a little percussion noise. Mm-hmm. And my fiddle is like, looks slightly different. Like, it's a little bit heavier set because they're more muscular. And I have like a long braids that come down past my shoulders, and they also have like bells on the end. So like I just look like an entertainer, but also an orc.
Okay, I immediately thought of this particular. I'm gonna send the picture in a Discord real quick. There's a very particular thing that's reminded me of. See if it'll. You have basically described this this group Which is also
Yes, basically.
still oddly in the cultural remit of the thing you're imitating as well before. So you've actually,
There we go.
yeah, you've just described a band that literally call themselves an ethnic folk band, by the way, which is not ideal. But it's not great, especially not when they do pan-Turkism constantly. But anyway, yeah, it's fine. It's a civic nationalism because everyone is Turkish according to them. So it's actually completely civic nationalism, including Serbians. Even are they not generous? Anyway.
Don't say that too loud. I'm in the Balkans.
I'm not joking when I say there was legitimately a Serbian who believed in like everyone is Turkish theory because it meant Serbia had never been dominated by a foreign power, which is such a great reason to believe that. It's so good. Anyway,
Oh my God, I don't know. And if you know, there was a study. I'm going to derail this for like 2 seconds. There was a genetic study that came out that studied the Croatian population, and they were very surprised to find out that they're Slavic. Because they all thought they were German and white people like everyone else. And it turns out they're just like Serbians and Bosnians. They were very offended.
Yeah, it's like they did this.
Anyway.
They did this on Turkish people as well, and they found out the closest related people to Turkish people were Italians from Tuscany, which has obviously caused an epic meltdown. It has caused one of the best meltdowns I've ever seen. But it's also added fuel to the fire that people in Turkey believe that Etruscans are secretly Turks. So, there you go.
Honestly, surprising it wasn't Greek. Surprising it wasn't Greek.
Yeah, it's central. It's so weird. It's central Italy and also Western China, and I'm like, yeah, something's happened. Something odd has happened.
I guess if you put those two together, you do sort of get the Turkic identity a little bit.
Like something weird has happened. But anyway, right, so you're waiting till nightfall. Oh wait, you're going in as a bard, as your sort of ethnic bard.
Yeah, I'm ingratiating myself with the locals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you walk in, no one pays you any mind. So you walk in, are you just gonna perform for them all until nightfall?
I'm going to come in, and I'm going to have a talk with some locals, and then I'm going to see like, any requests, lads?
Yeah.
And I'm going to get my fiddle out.
They have surprisingly broad tastes, and they actually request songs that you are familiar with from your travels. So they seem like even though they're from like quite isolated communities, they're like, oh yeah, everyone's heard this song. It's just
everyone likes ABBA.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're asking for medieval ABBA. They're demanding medieval ABBA. They're banging on the table, demanding Dancing Queen. That's what. All right,
Thou canst dance.
Roll a performance check. See if you can get all the guards drunk. I'm assuming that's the plan here, is to get the guards distracted and drunk.
Oh, you exactly right.
Yeah.
All right, 22.
Oh yeah, they're singing along, they're drinking, they're having a good time. After about an hour, sort of communal food is served, and people start offering you legs of various animals to consume, like the whole leg.
Oh, I will try them. I can't taste them properly, but I can taste them a little bit.
Unaware that you can't taste, they're giving you these chunks of meat almost as a tip for the performance. All right, give it one more performance check before nightfall to see how pissed all the people are. Oh no! Oh dear!
It's gonna be difficult.
No, it's not gonna be difficult. They're getting art level pissed.
Oh, good, because I rolled a 3, so that's a 12.
That's
12.
You just about beat it. So everyone just keeps drinking and eating and drinking. And by the time nightfall's hit, very few of the armed guards are actually even paying particular attention. They're kind of swaying. They're talking to each other. A lot of them have just sort of started like sort of stargazing because it's a clear night.
Aww.
They're just relaxing. They're having a good time.
I'm gonna lie down with them and be like, tell me what constellation this is.
Yeah. Is that your orc voice? We're doing good orc voices.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
They go through explaining all of their constellations are like crude weapons. Like That one's the small axe, and that one's the big axe, and that one's the regular sized axe. And that one, well, it's the medium small axe, but we also call it the hammer. Because it's got a flat edge, you can use it as a hammer, medium small one.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it's just like they're explaining basic life skills you would absolutely have learned if you were an orc, which is that every single tool is an axe. Using nothing but an axe, we have built this society.
They
We
got
built
Swiss
this,
Army axe.
Yeah. There's a reason
Swiss Army
There's
axe.
a reason we sell Swiss Army axes in the gift shops. They're trash.
Oh, that'd be a great punk band name, Swiss Army Axe.
Yes.
I love the idea of an Arc Fort with like a gift shop as well.
Yeah. There's a lot of tourism.
There's different kinds of axes.
It's kind of, like people do
Come
tourism.
here for your
People do
for your disemboweling, and leave via the gift shop. You can get lovely little key rings. Lovely
it's
time.
the key rings. They call them earrings, but it's literally an ear of a person. Yeah, like how people do tourism in like Afghanistan and North Korea. It's like that, but for orcs. That's how I imagine it. You have to have a minder to make sure you don't get like killed by anyone, but as long as you follow the rules, it's fine.
Or a commission from MI6.
Yeah, well, that too. Anyway, that story coming to you from a friend of mine went to North Korea for some fucking reason.
What?
Yeah, no, I'll tell you, the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard anyone I know do. But anyway, let's return to the other thing. Oh, there's a cat. I can see the viewers can't see the cat, but there is a cat. They can see a bit of the cat.
Just gonna get in the webcam.
Yeah, there it is.
Come on,
There's a cat.
Oh.
That's a nice cat. That's a good cat right there.
Gorgeous.
But that being said, it is now nightfall, and Barb, I don't know if you're in communication with the others, but you do see the Warchief sort of slump into. He's enjoying the songs and the drinks too with everyone. He's a man of the people, a real big Magnus Maximus of the people, and you just hear a loud thud through the canvas. He's clearly gone to bed.
Nice. Do we hear clatter? Does the crown stay on his head when he sleeps? Does he wear it when he sleeps?
He probably wears it when he sleeps. You didn't hear anything from the crown.
Okay, well then I'm gonna keep lying down with my new friends and wait for the party to turn up.
Yeah. All right. So party, we're back to the campsite. It is nightfall. What is the plan? How are we doing this? How is the?
I guess just pass without a trace and just sneak in.
All right. Who's joining? Is it just Elfin and Art going in, or are all three of you going?
Good luck.
Well, I guess that answered that. All right, Elfin and Art. Roll stealth checks with the pass without a trace bonus.
Oh, buddy. So that is 31.
That's a one.
Oh no. All right. Let's see how bad this is. It's despite Elfin's best efforts, talking through the pass without a check.
I accidentally like take the ring off. Like,
Yeah. Your finger somehow falls off with the ring on it, and you're like, oh god damn it. Okay, no, but because Art rolled so well, I assume Art's like, just be a bit more careful. It's like, you manage to sort of cling to some walls, cling to some shadows, and you are in the camp, and you're at because the Warchief's tent was quite immediate to the gate, you are already there. And what guards there are, the guards that would have been there are off. They're pissed. They had a good night listening to
stargazing with the guards.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it would just be. I think Art would just like checking for traps and anything in the tent before heading in.
Yeah. Roll investigation check.
What's the plus 5? 13.
There doesn't seem to be any traps.
Okay. heads in stealthily to try and get the crown off.
Okay. You manage to walk into the tent, and there's this loudly snoring, like comfortably 8 foot tall, massive bed, Warchief. It's in this sort of like separate section from the throne bit that you were in earlier, but you managed to quite easily navigate your way there. There's only 2 real bits to this big tent, and he's in there snoring, and the crown is snugly on his head. Maybe a little too snugly, but yeah, it is there.
I mean, straight up, just try and sleight of hand it off of his head.
Sleight of hand. All right, roll sleight of hand.
So that is 26 overall.
Okay. Okay. You slowly begin to prise the crown from his head. Your hands are really still. You are doing a really, like, by your standard, quite a good job. You hear his snoring briefly pause, and he rolls onto his back. He readjusts. He's like, that's better. And then you carry on sliding off. I need you to roll another sleight of hand check, because you pretty much tied with what you got.
Ooh. Oh, 29. 19 plus 10.
Oh no. Okay. Art, again, your hands are the stillest they have ever been in your life. You're so convinced that you've nailed this. And then, Art, what's your AC?
It is 15.
You feel a sharp pain just under your ribs as he's grabbed his spear and stabbed you with it.
What the hell did he roll on a perception?
A natural 20.
Oh.
You got so unlucky. You actually got like the most unlucky you could possibly have got there. Because, like, okay, so he rolled pretty much bang. He rolled a natural 20 the first time as well. But I was like, I'll let you get away with that because I was like, that's too much. But you rolled 2 in a row, and you have to be like, well, I guess that's what's happened now.
The dice have spoken.
Yeah. So.
Wait. Okay. So he stabbed me.
While asleep.
Is there any way while I'm holding this, so can I just give up on being stealthy and just yank it and try to escape?
Well, that's an interesting question. But you have taken how much? You have taken 28 points of piercing damage.
Ooh.
From he got you right under the ribs. You can absolutely give up on it, but we're gonna have to stop the session there with Art having been freshly stabbed.
Oh no!
In the ribs by the big.
I did say good luck.
A cliffhanger.
Yeah. God damn.
2 natural 20s against a 26 and a 29 is something else.
I like genuinely was like, I'll let the first one go because you did such a great roll, but then the second one, I'm just like, oh. Well, this has gone quite badly wrong. But there you go. I guess we'll pick up next time with immediately rolling initiative and seeing what the fuck happens. Because this is going to be a nightmare.
That's the biggest cliffhanger we've had.
Yeah, literally the spear is inside Art's body right now. That's how much of a cliffhanger that is. How much HP?
Thank God, all the army is drunk.
Yeah, how much HP?
I was going to say, where is Red?
Oh yeah, is Red with you?
It'd be in my pocket. It is always in my pocket.
Oh no!
Oh no, he's gonna be such a loudmouth about this. How much HP does Art have left? Actually, out of interest.
I genuinely thought he was going to be unconscious, so that's good.
Yeah,
that's
I thought I'd fucking killed him. I thought I'd killed him. I thought he'd one-shotted him. If you're wondering, I'll give you a clue about the amount of hit points the Orc Warchief has. It's in triple figures. So, if you're wondering how this is going to play out next time, well, you'll have to show up in a couple weeks. I don't know, but with that, I'm going to put us onto the closing scene and say goodnight, everyone. Catch us in 2 weeks, where we'll find out whether Art gets made mincemeat into.
Hey, we've not fucked
really
it.
well on the way.
Yeah,
I think he's a kebab.
yeah.
Everyone Google TPK.
Yeah, just be familiar with that term for next week.
It's not a total party. There's only 2 of us
Yeah,
there.
It's not even Elfin's not even there. Art went in on his own at that point, I think, or maybe
Yeah,
Elfin, has to hang out to cling on. But anyway, we'll figure that out.
I think I was probably in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no. Anyway, good luck to you all. And I'll catch everyone here on the YouTubes in a couple weeks. See you, everyone.
See you in a couple of weeks.
Bye.
Goodbye.